Oh, man, Mike's going to be happy today. James Bond. Well, it looked like everything was back and forth. MGM, Amazon, what's going to happen? Well, it looks like Amazon got complete control of the franchise now. Is that a good thing, a bad thing? How does Mike feel about it? How's Mike going to react to the news of what Roxy's number was this week? That and more on the show, as we also are going to get into the Odyssey. I mean, this cast, it's already stacked. Now it looks like Robert Downey Jr., they're trying to get him in it. So there's so much to talk about today. And there's a new movie coming out from, look, speaking of Mike, he loved Top Gun Maverick. Who didn't? Steph loved it. I loved it. Well, the director and Jerry Bruckheimer, they're doing a UFO movie. And this one's more in the vein of All the President's Men, and David Grush is going to be executive producing and is going to be a consultant on that. So we'll discuss that and more on the show today. So let's get into it, everybody. It's myself, Steph Sabraw, Grouchy Magoo. Let's do it. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the show. I really appreciate everybody being here today as we talk about James Bond and more. And joining me consistently on Thursdays is Steph Sabraw.
Yep.
How are
back
you?
At it.
Jumping back and forth and trying to catch that magic number is this character, Mike Kalinowski. How are you, buddy?
What? That's exactly how I am today. That's how I am today. What?
I know. Do you guys want to hear the number?
No, I don't. I don't want to know.
You want good news or bad news, Steph?
No.
What do you want?
How about no? I'm talking. Hold on a second.
You are. Okay. Okay.
I don't want to know. I'll go off. Let me go off air if you want to tell Steph the number. I don't want to know because it's going to piss me off, and I'm going to be pissed off the whole stream.
But it's not fair to the audience who is expecting to get your reaction from the number.
Okay, so let me ask you this then. Yeah. Because when this whole thing started, it was we're going to see who gets the most questions asked, and that is the winner. But with Crystal dropping $2 stickers.
Well, we got rid of stickers.
Well, what's the $2 super chat then? What's that?
Well, look, Derek gave you a lot of those today, so be careful.
Let's just say this.
All right.
I know I'm not changing rules. We're not going to change rules. They count as they count.
All right.
But I want to know who has the most questions at the end of the week. And then for my ego, I don't need the money. My ego needs that check.
Yeah, but you still don't. But you still don't have. But you would still get eliminated because last week there's
and that's fair enough. And that's fair enough, my friend.
I'm not going to answer that.
So my ego,
like you are delivering lines like a villain right now.
Yeah, it's true.
Steph, and that's fair enough.
Right. I am entering my villain.
Shut up for a second, Steph. So why don't you tell me what you believe? First of all, do you want good news or bad news?
Good news always.
All right. Good news is that before we even started the show right now, you guys are at 112.
Poor
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Okay, Mike.
Shh. Doesn't matter. Shit.
Shh. Zip it.
Sure.
Mike, I am an optimistic fairy. Do not rain on my parade. I'm going to get us to the finish line. So okay. I need you to just follow my lead, okay?
I like the leadership.
Okay.
All right. So that's the good news. Would you like to know the bad news stuff?
Yes.
Rocha and Roxy hit 293.
Oh my God. So what are we at right now?
About 112.
What did they start their thing with?
The fuck are you talking about? It's Monday.
So what did they start? Like what was
when we came into it? Yeah. I don't remember, to be completely honest, because what I will say for them, yes, Crystal was in there on Monday, but it wasn't really her. Like everybody, because it was the Captain America spoiler review. So everybody was in there asking questions. So you get everybody in there asking, like, for example, Derek put in the majority of your stuff today, right? If you get people asking questions today, you guys have a shot because you're ready. I mean, before we even start the show, you guys are at 97. So there you go. Okay. So, and what an episode to get here, because originally we were going to have the Matt Damon Odyssey movie with Downey potentially coming on board as the lead story, but then right as we're about to go on air, you get this story, and I knew we had to talk about it with Mike, and that is James Bond. Amazon has gotten full control, it looks like, Amazon MGM Studios, Michael G. Wilson, Barbara Broccoli today announced that they have formed a new joint venture to house the James Bond intellectual property rights, and those parties will remain co-owners of the franchise. Under the terms of the new venture, Amazon MGM Studios will gain creative control of the James Bond franchise following closing of the transaction. Since his theatrical introduction over 60 years ago, James Bond has been one of the most iconic characters in film entertainment, said Mike Hopkins, head of Prime Video and Amazon MGM Studios. We're grateful to the late Albert R. Broccoli and Harry Saltzman for bringing James Bond to movie theaters around the world, Mike, around the world, and to Mike G. Wilson and Barbara Broccoli for their unyielding dedication and their role in continuing the legacy of the franchise that is cherished by legions of fans. All right. So in 2022, Amazon acquired MGM, including a vast catalog with more than 4,000 films, 17,000 TV shows. Since the MGM acquisition, Amazon has held rights to distribute all the James Bond films, and as a result of this transaction, will have creative control over future productions. Okay, so that's good enough. So, Mike, is this the way I'm reading this? Because, like I said, MGM was already bought by Amazon, so what it was getting the full ownership from the Broccoli estate, right? And then they got that. So there was some kind of sweet deal, I guess they got them. So is this a good or bad news for you? Because in my head, I'm going, oh, this could easily get watered down into James Bond cartoons and James Bond TV shows and James Bond, this and that. Do you have that fear, or the more the better?
Back in December, there were some, you would say, a kerfuffle between Wilson and Broccoli Estate and Amazon, because Amazon wanted spinoffs and they wanted to go streaming with it, and they were like, "No, it's not. It's movies. We do movies for James Bond." And now to see this 2 short months later, I think this is a very bad thing. I think Wilson he wanted to, focus on other things. And Barbara has other projects she's working on. So I think they said what they wanted to say with the franchise. And I think because we've had so long and they were, we're talking, we're testing actors, we're seeing which direction we're going to go. I think they realized, like, looking back at 60 plus years, I think they said, you know what? We said everything we want to say with this character. We've had him married. We've killed him off. So they essentially did a child.
So they essentially did a 2012 George Lucas.
Pretty much. I think so. I mean, I think they hit a wall with Amazon. I think they do have a controlling stake, but, so it was like, there's nothing we can do. And we don't agree with this TV stuff. We don't agree with that. I think they've said their piece. They ended with James Bond dying. And that's their portion of this. Is a whole new era going forward.
What do you think about this news stuff?
First of all, I didn't know James Bond died. So that's
Did you not see the last one?
No, I haven't seen any of them. It's okay. I don't care. But so I don't really have much of an opinion other than it feels like maybe it's a new opportunity for me to engage with James Bond as a whole. As for some reason, I haven't had this impulse to see the movies, but maybe if it's more accessible on Prime and all of them are there and they're doing more stuff, that would be cool. You're worried about the integrity of the James Bond franchise no longer being intact, Mike?
Well, it's always been, there's always talk, and there's always, it's a very specific character, and it's very, there was talk for a while, are we going to make James Bond a woman? And that is a mistake. It's not the character. Like, I'm not so much so like a lot of some fans that feel he needs to be a white man. I don't feel that way. I think Idris Elba 10, 15 years ago would have been a great choice for him. But I'm also a stickler for it. We have so many British actors that play American superheroes. I never want to see an American play Bond. It's like he's their character. It's part of the culture.
See, they've done so much. I felt the same way about Bridget Jones. But look at Renee Zellweger.
Like it's tough because they've done also so many different versions of the character. There was the Roger Moore that was light and campy. They've done the Dalton and Craig where it was much more serious. Then the Connery's kind of a blend in the middle, and Pierce Brosnan did his own thing. And even in that 60 plus years, they've never had a bomb. They've never been bad. they've made less money. I mean, look at Pierce Brosnan's last one, which is considered his worst, made the most money of almost any film before, I think, Skyfall. So, and then one of the ones that was considered one of the worst was George Lazenby's on Her Majesty's Secret Service, which now, in hindsight, people look at this film and they say it's one of the best in the franchise. So it's never gone through a period of like, oh, they're in the crap shitter, they need to redo.
Right.
And they kind of do like they did with between Pierce Brosnan and Daniel Craig, where they come back and reintroduce him. There was talk of always going younger, like to do his origins, but then smartly they always say like, well, Bond before he's 007 is not Bond. He's just a commander in the Navy, and then that's a different story. So
yeah,
that's Craig, when he came in, he was like 36. So
right. Well, I mean, as far as it watered down and stuff, I'm curious how you feel about this because I see this comment a lot in the chat right now. It's that Amazon is in charge of Reacher. You love Reacher.
Love Reacher.
And they made a pretty good show out of that. You know, couldn't they essentially do the same thing and do a show with Bond that could do it justice and maybe not pull a Star Wars and actually put quality into these things instead of just spending money and farting all over the joint?
Yeah, I mean, it's tough because with Reacher being a book series, and Bond, of course, was a book series before it, but we had already had two movies that weren't like true to the character.
Right.
I enjoyed them. I really did. But we've had actors that have come on and been the essence of Bond. There's never been anyone who's like, oh, we just haven't had Bond done right yet. But I mean, thinking about it, you just say that, like, do they take the books and make them into long form? But again, and we're in this era maybe where we're going back to more theatrical and streaming is not as profitable as it was. Bond to me is a movie. It's you go to the big screen every Christmas, every 3 years, and you see a Bond movie.
I mean, I don't disagree with that, but I think that you can potentially do both, but it gets tricky.
I mean, we're going to get Bond. We're going to get a Felix Leiter TV series focusing on the CIA. We're going to get a Moneypenny show. That's what they're going to do. They're going to milk this thing. They're not going to sit there and go, let's see what's best for the character. I mean, Amazon doesn't make money on their theatrical.
They need an IP, right? I mean, that's the thing.
They need the IP, and look at their big IPs, Lord of the Rings,
right?
TV show.
And then that first season hurt the second season, which Steph says, and it was that the second season was really good, but the first season lost a lot of people, and they got to be careful that they don't do that. But Steph, as I hear Mike talking about how streaming is difficult to gain, to really look at the success and say, okay, this is we've spent enough money, we've got a return here. I feel that Amazon and Apple are the two streaming platforms that kind of figured out their business model. Like they know, like they don't expect their movies Apple doesn't expect their movies to do well in the theater. They put them out there, they do a couple things, but it's not just about that for them. It's like, because you look at that movie that Wolves, which apparently cost a shit ton to make, and they do all these movies. Yeah. So do you feel that way, that Amazon and Apple kind of have an idea of what they're doing more so than the other ones?
Yeah, I mean, I think that they're the two I'm using the most right now. Maybe Netflix too in there, but I've dropped off on Hulu and Disney a lot right now. I usually watch Hulu if there's an FX show, but it seems like there's every weekend when I'm going for something to watch, there's something on Prime and Amazon and Apple. And for Prime, especially the home movie premieres, my whole family, we buy a movie every week, and Apple has really good shows. So I feel like I'm really impressed more so with Apple, because when Apple announced they were doing a streaming service, I was not into it, and I don't know, for some reason it wasn't melting with me well, and then they just kept having more hit after hit shows, and now they have some of my favorite shows. So
it's really good stuff they're doing. So, and Amazon is pretty good for the most part too. I think they put a lot of good TV shows and movies. There's sometimes I'm like, it was okay, but they have like Invincible, and they have a lot going on. It's some stuff, and I like the first half of Mr. and Mrs. Smith, and then they fell off the second half. But either way, they're putting enough quality into it. So I'm curious how it's going to go. But I do understand Mike's worry, here when it comes to this, because this is your thing, right? You love Bond, so you want to make sure that there's like one side of it that you're like, hey, the more Bond if they get, because imagine if they got everything right. Like if all the TV shows and everything else was great, like just beyond great, but we've been burnt so much by like Star Wars and Marvel and everything too. You just get skeptical.
Here's the thing, like I kind of equate this to my love of Bond, but also Mission Impossible, which has kind of taken my love almost more because they've been so good lately. They've always been good, but I would love to see a Mission Impossible TV show, and it won't happen because Tom Cruise is very much against that. But I would love to see him do the feature films, and because it's the IMF, the Mission Impossible Force, you could do spinoffs and it fits within the world of Mission Impossible. And you've got a team that's doing TV shows, Amazon Prime. But Bond is Bond, and Bond is, I don't care about a Moneypenny TV show. And I love the character of Felix Leiter, his kind of CIA counterpart, but I don't want to see a show based on that because it's Bond. Like, it's tough. I mean, it's in a real tough spot. I don't think anyone can argue and say that, oh, Disney going and just doing TV or movie Star Wars and then branching off doing all this TV has really worked out so well for them. And it hasn't. It's kind of splintered the fan base even more. And it's funny because I was in the comic store the other day and they had The Mandalorian season 1 on, which is in the background. And I just stopped and stood and watched it for 10 minutes because of how good it was.
So
and
good.
Then what happened?
Yeah.
Too much. It's tough, man. It's you know me. I'm not gonna be that guy that's gonna shit on and say this is bullshit. Suck it. No, I'm not doing this.
But
I'm gonna go in with I want Bond to be successful. I want, like, Steph, for you, I would love a new generation to experience him because I got to have Shannon when I was writing the book watch these with me again, and she'd never seen any of them. So for her, young girl would never watch Bond. It was so cool to see her eyes watching these movies. So if this gets a new generation, that will be great, but we'll see.
All right. Well, what do you guys make of this overall? I see you already in the comments. If you're watching the replay, make sure you put your thoughts in there. Is this a good thing for Bond? Is this a bad thing for Bond? Let us know. Well, what a good thing for you is, and Steph knows it, Trade Coffee. Steph, I just bought a huge bag that's getting delivered to my place. Should be here soon. Have you been using the code yet?
Yes, I did order.
Yeah. So I hope everybody else has been ordering and using Trade Coffee. It is the best. I'm going to tell you about Trade Coffee. I'm going to tell you about HelloFresh. Here you go. All right, coffee drinkers. I'm sure you're like me. I start the morning and I need my coffee. I got to have 2 cups. That's what I do. Leave me alone. Don't bother me until I have my coffee. And for the longest time, I kept saying, I don't know. I don't like that bag of coffee. I don't like that one. That one's just decent. I have not been like that in a long time because I discovered Trade. And once I did, I'll never go back. It is a coffee subscription service that delivers freshly roasted coffee straight to my door. I love it. Trade is the #1 U.S. specialty coffee marketplace. It brings you fresh coffee from over 50 of the country's top roasters. Every bag is roasted to order. You'll taste it. You smell the difference from your very first cup. It just lights up the room. I'm telling you, this is so fresh. I feel like a coffee connoisseur now after being with Trade for so long. I just dig the different kind of blends. There's things that I thought I would never like that I've tried and now I love. And you have such a great menu and things you can just browse on their site and they'll fit it right to your taste. It's brilliant. I love Trade. You guys know I do. I rave about it. It's like Christmas time every time I talk about Trade. Now, Trade is exclusively offering our listeners 40% off your first order at drinktrade.com/Kristian. Did you hear what I just said? That's drinktrade, TRAD.com/Kristian for 40% off your first order. drinktrade.com/Kristian. Do not miss out on Trade. You will thank me for it. I promise. I'll tell you. Eating healthier has been getting easier for me. HelloFresh. It's the best. I just am tired of figuring out over and over and over what's for dinner every night. What's for dinner, especially on the busy weekends. You just get dinner done easy thanks to HelloFresh. It's got a new read-made meal going right from the fridge to your fork in just 3 minutes. It is high-quality ingredients and restaurant-worthy flavor that you expect from HelloFresh, just with none of the work. You can save valuable time with fewer trips to the grocery store thanks to the HelloFresh Market. There's over 100 add-on items that you can add to your weekly box, like quick breakfast, packable snacks, beverages, and more. They are the best. I just love having them, and it's so convenient for me because I have a busy schedule, and HelloFresh makes it easy. You can get up to 10 free meals and a free high-protein item for life at HelloFresh.com/HelloFreshPodcast. One item per box with active subscription. Free meals applied as discount on the first box. New subscribers only, varies by plan. That's up to 10 free HelloFresh meals. You got to go to HelloFresh.com. HelloFresh Podcast. It is highly encouraged. HelloFresh, America's #1 meal kit. Hello, HelloFresh. Hello. So glad to have you on the show. Same with Trade Coffee. So excited to have both of them. I really hope that you guys are taking advantage of these deals. I really do. So without any further ado, Mike, Steph, we have some more things to talk about. Steph, we posted that reaction with Sam.
Yeah.
And Endgame, it's like at 110,000 already. We posted it like just the other day, and it's doing really well. We actually brought in a whole bunch of new members because those unedited reactions, I got them up for patrons. I already put up Infinity War, Endgame, Captain Marvel, and I just put up the first Iron Man now. So we have like a bunch of unedited reactions that are up on both. If you're a member, you get them, and if you're a patron, you get them. And we've got a lot of new members that have taken advantage of it.
That's awesome.
Pretty great. All right. We have some more news. Here's this news. The rumor, not Rumor Willis, just a rumor. Christopher Nolan, The Odyssey is going to be one of the big movies. It's going to feature gods. It's going to feature monsters. Is it going to feature Robert Downey Jr. while he's being courted for Poseidon? According to a new rumor, Christopher Nolan tried to get Robert Downey Jr. on board on his upcoming adaptation of The Odyssey as the Greek god of the sea, Poseidon. Dark Knight trilogy director Christopher Nolan has assembled one of the most impressive casts we've seen in quite a while for his upcoming adaptation of The Odyssey, and it sounds like he was hoping to be able to make the ensemble an even more star-studded affair. According to Daniel Rickman, Nolan was courting Oppenheimer Oscar winner Robert Downey Jr. for the role of Poseidon, the Greek god of the sea, but the actor was going to be too busy filming Avengers Doomsday to make it work. Scoopers also heard that Nolan is staying super faithful to the original story and is determined to use as many practical effects, love that, real sets, love that, and as much makeup work as possible, love that. This follows a previous report that Nolan intends to shoot the movie's Cyclops scenes at Nestor's Cave in Greece and a 6x6 mechanical puppet and all this other stuff. But while it's a shame Downey Jr. won't be involved, it's good to know that Nolan plans on retaining the more fantastical elements of the tale. Damon was recently confirmed to play Odysseus via a first official promo image. Joins Tom Holland, Charlize Theron, Anne Hathaway, Lupita Nyong'o, Robert Pattinson, Zendaya, John Bernthal, Benny Safdie, John Leguizamo, Elliot Page, and Mia Goth. We don't actually know who anyone is playing, but there's speculation that Holland has been cast as Odysseus' son, Telemachus. Now, Christopher Nolan's next film, The Odyssey, is a mythic action epic shot across the world using a brand new IMAX film technology. The film brings Homer's foundational saga to IMAX film screens for the first time and opens in theaters everywhere on July 17th. Okay, so that does not surprise me that he wanted Downey on. He had a lot of success with Downey in Oppenheimer. Downey wins the Oscar, and I'm sure Downey wanted to do it, but Downey's going to be tied up because, Downey's back in the Marvel world now doing these next two Avengers movies, Steph. And I don't, as much as I think it'd be great to have him in it, I don't think the movie's going to be hurt if you don't get him.
Oh yeah, totally. I think I think that's fine. It's always fun. I love when directors, I'm sure actors don't love this, but when they pick a certain group of people that they love to work with, because I totally understand wanting to work with people you enjoy working with. So it's always fun, and I'm never gonna not want to see Robert Downey Jr. in a role, but I really don't care that he's not gonna be in this movie.
What do you think, Mike? Does this hurt the project that Downey's not able to do it?
No, my first reaction was, but no, so he is doing it, right?
No, he's not doing it.
But I thought they said the new thing was he was because they found the time. Anyway.
Oh, is that a report also?
I thought that it was like, they did find the time. He's going to be in it.
Okay.
Anyway, let's say he is.
Okay.
My first reaction was like, oh God, but then I thought to Oppenheimer, I'm like, you couldn't even really recognize him in that movie.
Oh, he was so good in that.
But Poseidon, it's like, okay, I'm sure Nolan has a very specific way of what he wants the gods to look like. But the more and more that comes out of this film, it's just, think of Nolan, what he is in the world of filmmaking. That man got a blank check to go and write, to make a fantasy epic that's going to have the Cyclops and, Poseidon gods. coming off of just doing Oppenheimer, the real world story about the bomb. Like this guy, I love the fact that, and I love before this, like everyone was like, oh, I think he's making a remake of Blue Thunder, the helicopter TV show. Like, did anyone think that was real? But then, like, I mean, no one's not excited about this movie. I don't think you're like, nah, this ain't gonna be for me. Even if you don't like history,
it's so funny that because I don't know if this is
honestly like what?
Not necessarily history all the way through because it's more of a fantastic.
Yeah, I know, but still,
sure. You go back in time,
historical. Like,
I'm so
sword and sandals type thing.
Yeah, it's in my. We were going through the 2026 movies the other day, and it's in my top 5, if not the top 3.
What are the other ones in 2026? What do you got?
Oh man, go ahead, Steph.
No, I don't know.
Okay, there's
gonna be what 2 Marvel Doomsday,
I have
right?
to think
Probably?
about it. Yeah, let me pull up the list too.
I'll tell you, it's so funny because I brought this up with Rocha the other day, and at first I was like, this is my number 1, and then people started putting stuff in there. Yeah, letting me know, and I think my number 1 is actually Dune 3. I think that's my number 1. Then
God, you and Dune.
And then you're a dumb person. And then
hate you.
The other thing after that is probably the Spielberg Disclosure movie coming out.
Is it the UFO?
Yeah, depending on what it is, that could be.
That's a slate 2026.
That's 2026. So let's see. This is 2025. I'm going through.
Okay. Yeah. Get up there.
Yeah. So all right. So January of 2026, as I go through this. All right, 28 years later, that's not going to be up there for me. Whatever that untitled Marvel movie is on the 13th, still won't be up there for me.
Street Fighter. Oh.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that in a little bit. But there's an untitled Disney, untitled Warner Brothers.
Oh,
Avengers Doomsday is that's probably that is ranked higher than Mandalorian and Grogu.
Hold on a second. So you got Avengers Doomsday, and then 3 weeks later is Mando and Grogu, both Disney.
Yeah, I know.
Oof.
I know. I don't know how smart that is. But Mandalorian and Grogu is probably in my 5, if not 6. Masters of the Universe would have been in there, but the stupid.
Let me tell you this. Can we talk about that for a second?
Yeah, sure.
The more that's getting released in that, because we've had you've been a part of it, but there's been so many stops and starts on a Masters of the Universe movie. But then they started finally going. The casting started going. I'm like, yeah. Then I saw the guy that's playing Adam, and I'm like, oh, that guy looks great.
Yeah, he does.
And then I saw that shot of them on Earth.
Pops.
Dude.
I know.
I love the original. I love it.
Really?
As a kid, as an adult, but knowing that they, what Gary Goddard had to go through, like, hey, man, we lost the budget. We couldn't put it all on attorney. We wanted to. We did the best we could. But everyone involved with that film, everyone that loves that film, everyone hates that film. The one biggest mistake everyone says is, it was Earth. Why are we doing that?
They go back to Earth.
To go back to Earth? I'm looking at that going,
it goes away from the Lord. But it goes away from the Lord. His mother was from Earth. His mother was from Earth. So
I know.
What he gets placed on Earth and he's there for anyway. You're gonna.
I missed which movie? What are we talking about?
Masters of the Universe.
Oh, okay. I don't know.
But anyway, that piece of that movie.
An hour on that movie talking about it.
June 5th is when it comes out, and I like Travis Knight, so I'm gonna be nice.
He's directing it, right?
Yeah.
That's my one saving grace, buddy.
So June 12th, it looks like, I don't know why I say untitled event film. I think it's called Disclosure for now anyway. And that's
Toy Story 5.
So the UFO one comes out there. That would probably be my number 2. So there's Supergirl. It's going to be on people's list. Now the Odyssey.
Yep.
So Odyssey for me is up there with those 3 movies also.
How much time between Supergirl and Odyssey? Go back up.
Quite a bit. June, almost a month.
Yeah, you got almost 3 weeks.
A month. Yeah.
Over 3 weeks. Good.
Paw Patrol. Let's see. Clayface.
Yeah, I like.
The big one I think in December is you got Dune Messiah, you got Shrek 5, you got Ice Age 6, Untitled Warner Brothers, Jumanji 3. That's a massive December. That's a big December.
That's a huge year though.
It's almost bigger than 2025, and I thought 2025 was big. So yeah, I don't know. There's
okay. So going forward, my favorite probably Doomsday, I guess.
Doomsday.
But Odyssey's up there now.
Which one is?
Odyssey.
Yeah.
Because if you look at, for me right now, so both films haven't started filming, Doomsday and Odyssey. I have more faith that the Odyssey will be good.
Yeah.
Oh, out of all those,
going off the track record of what we got, what we know going forward, my money, Vegas odds are on Odyssey being the one.
Definitely. I mean, he's out of all of those movies. maybe Dune, but not even Dune. But like, oh wait, hold on a second.
Yeah.
Out of all those movies, it's the Odyssey that the reason you're really going first and foremost is because it's a Nolan movie.
Right.
Yeah.
And the other movies you're going because it's a Star Wars movie. You're going because it's a Marvel movie. You're going because it's a Nolan movie.
He's getting back to the way of the old school of like, I'm going to see the new Spielberg. I'm going to see the new Will Smith movie.
Yes, he is.
Like he's the only one out there now that you're like, I'm going to see the new
Tarantino still got it.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll agree to that.
Tarantino.
Yeah.
I mean, very few actors have it. Tom Cruise,
very few actors. No, Tom Cruise doesn't even have it, dude, because like Tom Cruise, Mission Impossible has it, but Tom Cruise has done other movies. Like, you know who's got that right now? Jordan Peele's got that. It's like, oh, the new Jordan Peele movie is coming out. We got to see that. What's it about? I don't know. It's a Jordan Peele movie. Yeah. Like that doesn't happen, and it happens with a few directors, right? So
I would say it doesn't happen with Scorsese anymore either.
Not as much anymore, but it's certainly you know that the new Scorsese movie is coming out, but it doesn't guarantee people are going to go see it.
But the Nolan, there's this weird like he Interstellar replayed in IMAX, and like every single one was sold out, even like the 12 o'clock in the afternoon showings. Like he just does that now, and it's.
He picks really good stories to tell, ones that get you to the theater.
Someone mentioned Top Gun was successful. Yeah, but that's Top Gun. It's bringing back a one of the greatest 80s movies of all time with a big star in it, but it wasn't because Tom Cruise did it. Like, you
I don't know about that. If they let me say this.
No.
They did Top Gun 2. And
was without Tom. No, of course.
No way.
Of course. No, that's not what I mean. What I mean is that it's because people knew it was Top Gun. That's what and Tom Cruise was coming back. Like, yes, of course, you can't do Top Gun without.
Here we go. Perfect example. We'll see with I can't pronounce his name. Inaret. He did Birdman.
Oh shoot.
I can't pronounce it. I'll butcher it.
Inarritu. Yeah, I think it's Inarritu.
He's doing one with Tom Cruise. Like Tom Cruise is like the smartest man on the planet, and he causes the end of the earth. And that to me sounds like that's a movie, but also will that get the people in?
Inarritu.
Yes. So put them together. That's that team.
Sure. Great teams. There's ways to put teams in for sure. But anyway, point is there's a great 2026 coming ahead. I thought 2025 was big. 2026 is step out of the ones that I mentioned. There is anything that you're probably with me, right? Dune 3.
Yeah, probably Dune 3. Then Odyssey. Then maybe Supergirl.
Okay.
Then I'm really excited for Clayface, honestly.
Oh, so still doesn't understand what I'm saying. Of course, he's a movie star. You're not listening. You're not you. The comments. You're not listening.
I can see where people are.
They don't.
I'm going to say this. I'll say this. Odyssey definitely, but for me, I'm gonna go for the underdog, and I want Masters of the Universe to do so good. So I'm hoping.
Yeah. Last thing as we move on. My point is this: back in the day, Tom Cruise, Will Smith, whoever it was, there's a new Harrison Ford. There's a new Tom Cruise movie coming out. What is it? I don't know. It's Tom Cruise. Let's go see it. That doesn't happen anymore. Of course, Tom Cruise is a movie star. No one's saying that he's not a movie star. He's the essence of a movie star. But guess what? The Mummy didn't do well. Jack Reacher, the movies didn't do well.
We switched to IP franchise and not movie star.
Yes, right.
Nolan is kind of bringing the franchise.
That's right.
Nolan's kind of doing this thing is
exactly. So anyway, that is interesting to say the least. But the Odyssey is going to be something I think a lot of people are going to be looking forward to, and I think we're some of those people. I mentioned the Steven Spielberg movie. Now, one of the things that I wanted to see in that Steven Spielberg UFO movie was because originally I was like, well, he just is so tied into it in general, the UFO topic, that for him just doing a War of the Worlds again or an ET doesn't really do service to all the information and stuff that's been going on lately. And then they announced that they were going to call it Disclosure. And I was like, wow, that's what I was always hoping for. I was hoping for like the Post or like All the President's Men type thing for UFO disclosure, right? And so it's called Disclosure. But then the announcement, did you guys hear this announcement of speaking of Top Gun, Kosinski and Bruckheimer? Did you hear about this?
No.
I did not know.
Okay, so this is another one. Kosinski and Bruckheimer set a UFO conspiracy film. Top Gun Maverick director Joseph Kosinski, producer Jerry Bruckheimer are reteaming for a new project that has sparked a bidding war, according to The Hollywood Reporter. Described as All the President's Men with UFOs, the film appears to be some kind of conspiracy thriller reminiscent of early X-Files. Former United States Air Force officer David Grush is reportedly acting as a consultant on the project. Grush testified before U.S. Congress in 2023 that the government had been studying the spacecraft and bodies of aliens, all while suppressing leaks. Amazon, Apple, Lionsgate, Paramount, Warner Brothers are among the studios vying for the project, with the bidding escalating quickly and aggressively. A budget for the film is unclear, and there are no stars currently attached, but the team are seeking a green light for the project. Kosinski's next release is the Brad Pitt-led racing F1 film. This is, to me, if they do this the right way, especially because they have David Grush involved in this, this could be the most important one if they do it right. If they actually take some of the stuff that actually happened, and the Congress hearings and things of that nature, and that would be a way to make people more aware. When you speak of movie stars, that's where you get a movie star. You get Tom Cruise in something like this. That's where you need a movie star. For the people in the comments section, this is where you need a movie star. It's not Tom Cruise that'll get you in there. It's about the UFO, but it adds that Tom Cruise is in it.
So there's competing films.
Not necessarily, because I don't know if they come out at the same time. I wouldn't be surprised if Spielberg kind of had a hand in getting Kosinski to get involved in something like this too. So I think that it's like David Grush being involved in it is a major thing. Plus the fact, I don't know if you guys are aware of it too, they put together a task force, a confidential a declassification task force. Did you hear this?
No.
So it's run by it's going to be bipartisan, both Democrats and Republicans, but the head of it is Luna from Florida, and so what they're going to be doing is working on JFK, Martin Luther King, Robert Kennedy assassinations and UFOs. And they're going to get the public records out to people and start to make those discoveries, if there are any at all, right? So I think that if you add, let's say nothing comes of it, then nothing comes of it. But let's say something comes of it with the UFO stuff, and something comes out, and you're Spielberg or Kosinski, and you're ahead of it already with this movie. Like some kind of huge information comes out. Plus, then you do a movie. People are going to be lining up in the theater to see this and learn more about it. Inside of watching movie stars do it too. Steph, what do you hear about? What do you think about this information?
Yeah, I think that's really. It's about time that it be taken seriously, and I know you're super in the world of this and have a lot of as I feel like you're so up to date on the information, and even me who is interested in it, I'm not up to date because I feel like you have to sift through. Maybe I should just watch your show. You have to sift through a lot of stuff to get, what, because some people are, there are conspiracy theorists who are a little too out there for me, but a lot of it is so grounded in actual evidence. So I think it will be really cool to bring it to the big screen. It seems like the right people are involved with it, and I do think people would have a lot of interest in seeing that, especially if news breaks similar to the timing of the movie release.
What do you think about this, Mike?
I don't know if it's my cup of tea, but that said, if the talent involved gets my interest peaked, then I'll be in. I don't know if it would be on my top 10 watch list of a year.
Yeah, let's see a trailer first.
Yeah.
But
it's one of those things that it'll be a like you said, if you do, what was the analogy you did about not Spotlight or the
Post.
The Post. Yeah, that'll get me involved. Like great cast, and phenomenal roles. Then I'm on board.
Mike's on the show, so we obviously talked about Bond. We haven't talked about DC just yet, so why don't we combine both? Daniel Craig is exiting DC's Sergeant Rock and the film that was involved with it. Daniel Craig has abruptly exited Lucas Sergeant Rock at DC Studios and Warner Bros., according to The Hollywood Reporter. The reasoning for his departure is unclear. Scheduling of both himself and his wife, Rachel Weisz, appears to be one of the causes. Other sources for the trade says the actor soured on the role after his and Guadagnino's, I would say his name wrong, well-reviewed adaptation of Queer failed at the box office and wasn't the award season juggernaut it was hoped to be. The Sergeant Rock film will mark the third pairing of the director and writer Justin Kurzik, who, following the collaboration of Challengers and Queer, the comics follow Sergeant Franklin Rock, an infantry non-commissioned officer who managed to participate in every major action in the European part of World War II. He's an incredibly skilled fighter and a sniper in both endurance and borderline sixth sense when it comes to danger. Otherwise, he's a regular human. Like the Clayface film, this is expected to be its own thing as opposed to one connected to a larger DC universe. The film is reportedly tracking to shoot this summer in the UK with the Bear star Jeremy Allen White, another big name rumored for the film. Was Craig supposed to be Sergeant Rock?
He was in the talks for it, but again,
a little too old.
That's not even too old to me. He just wasn't Sergeant Rock. He's a British guy that was like Sergeant Rock is like an American, like he's like almost like a Nick
Gruff.
Fury.
Yeah.
What's up, Gruff? American. Yeah. Like, could he play the role? Sure. But now I hear Jeremy Allen White. I think that's completely the other end. I was like, no, to me, Sergeant Rock, you get a grizzled Bernthal. You get a Bernthal in there like that. Like he's a gruff, weathered face.
Oh, great call. Yeah.
You don't like Jeremy Allen White. I love him. He's a kid almost. I mean, I say that, but he's not a kid. But he's like, think about that. So think about that. You got your movie, Daniel Craig, Jeremy Allen White, two vastly different actors, vastly different looks, styles, age, and they're going to be for the same role. So it's almost like you see the studio like, what big actor can we put in the role? Not instead of what's right for the character. So to me, I don't think I've seen a misstep in casting with DC yet. And when Craig was announced, and again, I love him, I was like, ooh, this doesn't work for me. So, and again, Jeremy Allen White doesn't work for me either in the role. So I'm just this seems like a weird, the one DC project that I've been like, I don't know. But again, I don't have a love of the character, so I can't be upset,
Steph, I know you're not as familiar with it as Mike is, but what do you think about Craig jumping out? Is this a problem for DC or no, just find someone new?
No, I think find someone new. And what I'm finding out from all the Blake Lively, Justin Baldoni stuff is that we don't know actually what happened ever unless we are the person. So it could be like not a big deal at all, and it was really just scheduling. And so they're just finding a person that brings something else to the role. And I do think that I really trust them with casting. So if Jeremy Allen White was the second pick, maybe it was just really different and giving them something they didn't know they needed. And so I feel like that's cool. I'm lucky because I don't have as much of an attachment to the character. So it's kind of a free space that you can fill. And I think Jeremy Allen White's such a great actor that it will be cool.
I mean, I wouldn't mind it. I mean, I understand where Mike's coming from, but I wouldn't mind it because it also depends on what they're going for as far as age and all that. And I like the fact Luke is doing that DC movie. I like that they're doing these kind of side stories in general. Mm-hmm. So we'll see what happens, but yeah, recasting and people dropping out happens. All right. Last story before we get to the questions. And this one's for Steph. Bong Joon-Ho is planning a subway horror tale. He's currently out there promoting Mickey 17. I'm going to see it a week from Monday, Steph.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Filmmaker Bong Joon-Ho has revealed that his next project will shift away from the distant ice planet setting of that film and down to the Korean subway network. It is in a new interview with MBC Korea, the Oscar-winning Parasite and Memories of Murder filmmaker says his next live-action film will be an action horror title set in the subway of Seoul. He previously indicated it will be a smaller film akin to the scale of Parasite or his 2009 thriller Mother. He tells the outlet the new film is kind of like my life project. I've been thinking about it since 2001. He said, we're running through the underground section of the subway. In the car next to us, people wearing similar clothes start to come out of our side. We're running. A lot of people start to come over to our side. Obvious comparisons are going to be made to Yoon Sang-ho's highly acclaimed Train to Busan, but that film sounds more action and fast-paced focused than Bong's, which will likely be something more akin to his acclaimed 2006 creature feature, The Host. Bong is also Working separately on a CG animated drama feature about deep sea creatures whose underwater oasis is threatened, inspired by Claire Nevian's novel, The Deep, The Extraordinary Creatures of the Abyss. That film will be the most expensive Korean film ever made. You get excited hearing this stuff or what?
Yes. Anytime I hear an announcement of a Bong Joon-Ho film, I'm so excited because he's one of the few people that makes scary movies that I am so excited for. And I love how thrilling they are because I feel like he just does it and he does it in a way that really matters to me. I always get why he picked the story. The characters are always super compelling. And so this one, it doesn't really sound like Train to Busan other than the fact that they're on a train or so I don't think there's the action. That's a zombie movie. So it sounds like this is a horror movie. I don't know exactly what, but it might just be normal people. Did they right? They didn't
Yeah.
elaborate on that yet.
No,
So
not really. No, the Train to
yeah,
Busan, that's one of the ones I've never seen that one. And
oh,
that
would be a good reaction.
that might be one that I'm going to react to. I got to figure out
So good.
Yeah, we're releasing the Nosferatu reaction, myself and Tina. That comes out tomorrow, and then Spider-Man. We're doing the first three. Obviously, the Toby movies will be Tuesday and Friday of next week, and then we'll get into the Andrew Garfield ones the following week. So we're excited to kind of take some breaks too from that with Tina, and then Sadie's going to be coming in and do some more. Sadie's probably going to be doing The Godfather, which will be interesting.
Oh.
Yeah, Mike, do you have any thoughts on this?
She likes Sopranos?
Not really.
Okay.
No, not really. It's not that she didn't like it. She thought it was too violent. But she's like, I never seen she watched The Offer with me, which is that the Paramount Plus show about The Godfather, and she's like, I've never seen them. I want to watch them. So we're gonna watch The Godfather. It'll be a good one.
That'll be fun.
Yeah. Mike, do you have any thoughts on this one, or this is not your type of movie?
Not my thing. Now, did this guy do The Host? You ever see that movie, Steph? The Host?
I think so. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty cool.
And he did Parasite.
Yeah, Parasite.
I like Parasite.
All of his movies are great, and he's one of those directors that's just like he doesn't have a miss.
Okay.
Yeah, and is there Scorsese news? What's the Scorsese news? Apparently there's Scorsese news. What? I don't even know what that is. Maybe we'll do that one.
He said you're full of shit.
What?
That's Scorsese. He said
he's
full of shit.
Yeah, let's see. I guess. Okay, here we go. I'll bring it up now. And here we go. The town says aloha to Hawaii set. Goodfellas meets The Departed. Scorsese, DiCaprio, Dwayne Johnson, and Emily Blunt. Emily Blunt and The Rock have been doing a lot of stuff together lately. They're doing the Smashing Machine. They did the Jungle Cruise thing, and now they're doing this together. The hot package in town is a pitch for Martin Scorsese directed untitled drama that would be Dwayne Johnson, Leonardo DiCaprio, and Emily Blunt. The thumbnail description: imagine Robert De Niro's Jimmy the Gent character from Goodfellas, but as ruthless Hawaiian crime boss based on a real figure who battled encroaching rivals for control of organized crime in Hawaii. To be written by Nick Bilton, the film focuses on a turbulent time on the island paradise when an aspiring mob boss battled rival crime factions to wrest control of the underworld of the Hawaiian Islands. Leonardo DiCaprio will be playing the Hawaiian boss. No. It was a bloody battle, the kind of terrain Scorsese covered in both Goodfellas and The Departed. In 1960s and 70s, Hawaii, this formidable and charismatic mob boss rises to build the island's most powerful criminal empire, waging a brutal war against mainland corporations and rival syndicates while fighting to preserve his ancestral land. It's based on the untold true story of a man who fought to preserve his homeland through a ruthless quest for absolute power, igniting the last great American mob saga, where the war for culture survival takes place in the unlikeliest of places, paradise. This would mean another big collaboration and a historic run for DiCaprio and Scorsese, who just got done working together on Killers of the Flower Moon, to go with the Aviator, The Departed, Gangs of New York, Wolf of Wall Street. Also makes a reunion for Blunt and Johnson, who worked together on Jungle Cruise and Smashing Machine. Don't forget that, motherfucker. It is an especially big opportunity for Johnson, who has roots in Hawaii and long wanted to make a movie there. He has kicked around a movie about King Kamehameha, who in his much different way used his strength and persuasiveness to unite the islands to improve the dealing with the explorers that were finding their way to the islands. Johnson is paired with Blunt. There we go. On the Smashing Machine for A24 later this year, it was Blunt and Johnson who brought the idea to Scorsese and DiCaprio, and they all enlisted Bilton, who start writing when this gets set up. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. Even though these principals are engaged in other projects, the town quickly sparked to the pitch, and we hear multiple bids are on the table or fast mobilizing. This sounds pretty phenomenal. I think this sounds pretty great. To me, this is like, look, I love Scorsese gangster things. It does sound like a mixture of Goodfellas and Killers of the Flower Moon. And I want to see The Rock start doing more stuff like this. He's going from the Smashing Machine into something like this, get away from just playing The Rock and do some other stuff. I think that the Emily Blunt brings out the best in him. I think that that's why he wanted her to come over and be in the Smashing Machine, because he really looks up to her when it comes to acting. I think she's taught him a lot, and that's why he wanted her over there. And I think while they were working on this, they come up with this idea, bring it to Scorsese and DiCaprio and get it done. It's a great story on how it's getting made here, Steph. But what do you think about how this sounds?
Yeah, it sounds really, I love a gangster movie. I love Scorsese. I think that will be interesting. I am excited for him because I feel like if he has a director like Scorsese, then maybe he'll pull something out of him that we haven't seen before, in the same way that I feel like Denis did with Jason Momoa in the first Dune. So I think that's a really cool opportunity for him. He's probably been, well, if I were him, I would be wanting to kind of get out of that mold. I think it's hard though, visually. He's so massive that it is hard to take him as a grounded, serious character because people don't look like that. So I wonder what they're gonna do there. Maybe because of what the film is, it works.
Yeah. I think it's the same way, the way that Smashing Machine is going to work, right? Because the Smashing Machine, he's playing Mark Kerr, and Mark Kerr was a big, huge UFC dude, but he was a drug addict, so like he's going to have to really dig deep emotionally inside of this role, and that is going to be the Smashing Machine could change the perception of The Rock. If he is an A24 movie, is a smart move for him career wise to go from, because I think people are getting tired of the shtick.
Yeah.
And now it looks like he's making a different move. Go ahead, Mike.
Let me ask you something. So for the longest time, Roxy and I had this big debate of like, who's the bigger movie star, The Rock or Tom Cruise? And they're both so into making movies and the way that they love movies. But when did The Rock, his personality, or Dwayne Johnson's personality and his behind the scenes overshadow who he was? Because I remember back in the day, like The Rundown and even into the 2000s, it wasn't, I'm watching Dwayne Johnson in a sweaty t-shirt, whereas Tom Cruise never got to that point. He still gets into the character. And like, that's why I think people are clamoring for Tom Cruise to go back at once Mission Impossible is over to start doing the Magnolias, where he will get an Academy Award one day, because he's such, like, The Rock is so good. He's talented. Like, what was it, Get Shorty or the sequel to that?
Yeah, Get Shorty too. Yeah.
But then he let his pompousness of the not ego, the persona of him, where he's always doing his behind the scenes are always him in these crazy situations with, and then the whole. It's like, when did he decide that I'm going the way of being a larger than life persona, and that's gonna, because when you're a larger than life persona, you're not an actor.
I think when he became more, he focused more on being a brand.
Okay. And that's a problem when you're playing a character like this in a Scorsese film. I don't want to watch a brand.
Well, but I think that's my point. I think that he realized that, because it was all, you're definitely not wrong. It was all about the brand in general. Even when he went back to wrestling, he was like, well, I'm going to be the guy everybody wants to see me and Roman Reigns. And the audience said, no, we don't. We want to see you, but we don't want to see you in the main event just because you're The Rock. And then they had to change plans and stuff too. But I think that he said, okay, look, because at one point he was doing every movie and he called himself like franchise Viagra, because no matter whether it was Jumanji and whether it was the Fast and Furious movies, like the movies would just get you, it goes to your head. And he's like, well, everything I'm just doing is turning to gold. But eventually the audience, like, you're just doing the same shtick over and over and over again now. And plus now a lot of this stuff isn't even that good. I think Black Adam turned the tide completely against him.
Yeah.
And then there's something else. And then that article, I don't think that I remember we talked about this. That
article didn't do anything. He came out and said, pee in a water bottle.
Didn't
Big
do
deal.
Shit. Yeah, it didn't do shit. I knew that article.
Yeah.
Shit. But
I think the Black Adam behind the scenes machinations with DC, that hurt him.
Yes, that
he thought he was bigger than a franchise, and they were like,
absolutely
breaks, pal.
Yeah, and the amount of money that he's spending, but then him going to your concern, Mike, I think he understood it, and he's gonna, you know what? I'm gonna go do this Smashing Machine movie, and I really do think that if they can turn the tide again and go, oh wow, because everybody right now, if you asked out of all the wrestlers that have made it, who the best actor is, everybody's going to say Hulk Hogan. No, everybody's going to say Batista. Everybody's going to say Batista. And even at one point I didn't say that, but then I was like, no, he was in that Shyamalan movie, and he was.
I love Cena, but I haven't seen him do drama yet. I
think he's getting there.
It's not a dramatic role, but he's got a really good dramatic moment in the last Peacemaker series. There's a thing with his dad.
No, I get it. What I love about him is he's not afraid to poke fun at who he is. Well, The Rock, he's the guy that's like, in his contract, I can't take X amount of hits and I need to always win the fight. Like, you're never going to cheer for that guy, because you want to connect to people in films, and whether it's a superhero or whatever, you need to feel the empathy and the emotion there, and feel that they're vulnerable as a person. We love vulnerability in people, and that's who we love, and the underdogs. And even if they're rotten people, you want to come back for them because of the vulnerability that they are a human being, where The Rock comes off as not a human being. He's this Superman and in his real life. And it's, Batista and Cena, even though Cena's a massive man, has that vulnerability. So when you say Peacemaker, where it was all dick and fart jokes, that moment he got vulnerable, you're like, oh God, I feel for this guy.
Exactly. So I think that
did I lose you?
Where'd I go?
Hear you.
Can you not?
Oh, what?
No, you can hear us.
You can hear us.
For fuck's sake, what the fuck now?
He's like, that's bad acting.
Hello?
Bad acting. I'm not buying it.
Can you hear me?
No.
I feel like this is serious.
You think it's real?
Yeah, because who would do that?
No, he's waiting for me to say shit to him again.
Mike, are you for real?
I'll leave and I'll come back in.
Wait, don't do that. I want to tell you something. Don't. I think that you can make it work. Oh, damn it. I was hoping that.
We can make this work.
I'm upset with myself that I didn't believe it, because I wish I would have believed it, so that way I could have messed with them.
Oh.
Yeah. Unfortunately.
Missed opportunity.
Yeah, it was a missed opportunity. But we actually have one more story that I want to bring up that just kind of broke, that I think.
Okay.
If I can get the damn thing to load, there it is. All right. Where's the moron? Is he back? Yeah. Okay. All right. So let's get to. Can you hear us now?
Okay.
All right. Thank you, Billy. All right. This is just breaking now. Marvel pauses Nova and other TV shows. Thank you to our producer Luke for sending this. Marvel Television has officially paused 3 TV series that it had in development. Those 3 series are Nova, Strange Academy, and Terror Inc. Deadline reports that all 3 projects were never officially greenlit and may still come to fruition at some point, but all appear to have at least been put on the back burner and possibly shelved indefinitely. The movie is seen as a result of the shift a few years ago from Marvel's original approach to producing series, which was more like creating a film slate with full series greenlights and a large amount of content. Its newer system is more like traditional TV, with a more careful selection of what gets made, not expected following Disney cutting back on the amount of Marvel content that it produces. The new system means not only traditional showrunners, but also that more projects are developed and are ultimately made, with each undergoing a more typical greenlight process. Nova was the most solid of the 3, with Sabir Pizzada hired to pen an adaptation in 2022, with Ed Bonero took over as writer and showrunner in December. No talent was officially linked to the other 2 projects. This to me is the best news you can get if you're a Marvel fan.
I saw that and I was like, Terror Inc.
It's like,
I read Marvel comics. I've read my whole life. He's a guy. He's got like these 3 green whiskers on each side of his face. Who's deciding that's a good story to greenlight?
I have done such I've done such a 180 on all this stuff. You remember when we used to talk about Star Wars, and I'd be like, the movies push them back as far as you can and do TV shows. Now, after what they've done with TV, I'm like, I'm just kidding. I was
joking.
Yeah.
I was just kidding.
Nova's promising, but I think Nova's going to pop up in a movie.
Put him in movies now.
He'll be in a movie.
Hey, you do look what they're doing with
Daredevil.
But
what they're thinking over there,
what they're doing with Daredevil is good. Is like that's the kind of stuff, and hopefully it's really good. Like that's the way you do it. Put quality into it, and don't just put these secret invasion crap boxes out there.
To what you're saying, Harloff, they need to pick and choose, because to me, Daredevil is built for TV. It's just built like, certain characters are built for the big screen. Certain characters, not everyone needs a TV. Like you said, Secret Invasion. First of all, that's worthy of a movie that you built over many. That could have been your next Infinity War Endgame if they had played it right.
Right.
Because of how massive that could have been, with which heroes were Skrulls and which weren't. Instead, we get random SHIELD agent number 7 as a Skrull. What does it mean? We don't know. Oh God! Like certain characters, like Daredevil, absolutely should be. I mean, thinking back, Netflix nailed it. Those 4 characters, or those 4 shows they had, were ideal for television, and they kept it contained and built to Defenders, even though it wasn't that good. And the show quality kind of stepped off for several of those shows, but they were smart in picking those 4.
Well, I realize more so
Inc. and Armor Wars,
whatever that is. But I realize more now stuff than ever after watching, like, after these reactions, everything, because people keep asking, like, are you going to do all the TV shows, right? And I'm like, which ones are really important to do in order to keep up with the Marvel Cinematic Universe, right? And obviously, WandaVision, which we'll pay attention to more than the director of Multiverse of Madness and the writers did, so we'll pay attention to that. Then there's obviously Loki seasons 1 and 2. I struggle on Hawkeye. I don't really necessarily think it's that important, even though Florence Pugh shows up in it. I don't know how important it is. Same goes with that. There's no world I'm watching She-Hulk again, and there's no world I'm going to watch Echo or Secret Invasion. I've never even finished Secret Invasion. I'm not watching. I don't care.
What about Falcon and Winter Soldier?
Falcon and Winter Soldier, definitely.
Listing the ones you just said there, I'm like, why did we have an Echo television show?
Why did we?
Why?
Yeah, I know. I don't know. Maybe to show me. I think it was
you put that character in Daredevil eventually, and it's a Daredevil supporting character. Like,
I think that was during the time when they were handing out shows to everyone when Chapek was there.
Yeah.
Remember, like,
building the content of the library.
Yeah, Mike, you'll remember this in the same way that I do. It's a little bit before your time, Steph. But Michael Eisner, remember when Michael Eisner was an head of Disney? And
sure.
Yeah, and he would basically, instead of doing we're going to do a Lion King 2 and put it in theaters, we're going to do Cinderella 2 and put it in the theaters. He made these direct to home video movies, and he made a bundle on them, but the quality was shit. You didn't even get
it was like, you got a sound alike for the movie star.
Right.
But it was a profitable business in the sense that what they cost, what they spent versus what they made, it's gold. So why not do it?
Right. But in the process, kind of diluting the content in general, right? Like
Yeah, but I mean,
but I'm just saying, though, that's what Chapek essentially was doing with the Marvel brand.
But the thing with Iger, they weren't doing massive publicity for these things. Like, you got to see the next Lion King movie.
You mean Eisner, right?
Yeah, Eisner. It's just like, go to your local Blockbuster. Oh, look at this.
They would put a commercial for it before, like, the big release of something else too.
It's like
with Rodney Dangerfield doing the thing. Hey, you want to go see something good? Go check out the Aladdin 2.
Aladdin 2, no respect. Oh,
sorry, Cinderella. She's still in getting it. Oh. So, anyway, all right. I think we got a lot. We covered a lot of stuff today. And you guys are doing pretty good, Steph. We're going into your question section right now.
That's your kiss of death, Harloff.
What?
You guys are doing pretty good.
I think it's pretty good. Look, you got
to doing.
That's right. You got to get to 293.
No respect from Mike and Steph.
So you guys currently are at 152. It's pretty damn good going into the thing.
I like that.
We had a high number last week, and I think we got 30 extra questions during the whole question round. So
we're gonna see. So we're gonna start.
Ay caramba.
There's a few that I'm going to read off of the actual the analytics because it didn't come through here. So Derek Worth says, great interview with Joe. I wonder if he had a falling out with Dungeons and Dragons. He seemed to shut down any discussions about his current projects with them, as well as not even watching the movie, which is crazy. Yeah. So they're talking about my interview with Joe Manganiello that I posted yesterday.
Yeah.
And I've interviewed Joe now 3. You watched it?
I didn't watch it, but I saw that your post. I was like, that's fantastic. You've been with him before.
That was the third. That was the third time. And
I like that guy.
Me too. But like, I don't think that this guy is wrong who put the super chat in there too. I like I said, I've spoken to him before. You watch that interview when I'm talking to him about Deal or No Deal. He lights up and he's excited about it. He wants to be part. He's a producer on the show. He likes playing these games. He's like he is in it. When I brought up DC and Dungeons and Dragons, he shut down.
Wait, he shut down. Dungeons and Dragons.
He was a big D&D player, like overall, and working with like huge. It was like
he was never involved in the movie, right?
He told me during the interview that they asked him to do a role and he didn't do it. But then he lit back up again when we started talking about like Anora and Dune, and but he did not want to go that route. I didn't push it because I felt it, and I'm pretty good with that when I'm talking to people, and I didn't want to bother him on it. But like, he did not want to talk about that stuff.
I think he was a passenger in a car crash that had nothing to do with it. He was on his way to Disneyland and then went into a car crash. Didn't involve him, but he was just
he said as much. He said as much. He said he was handled terribly. He was the main villain in the Batman thing.
Yeah, I think he was signed up for what he wanted to and XYZ projects, and that's what it goes. And then
Mike Joyce. It feels like a Bond villain now has control of the franchise. Maybe with a Bond cinematic universe, we'll get an origin story for Jaws and his teeth. That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
You joke, but
you might get it. You might get that. And then there's a ton from Derek, who start here with Derek, and Derek put in a lot. So
thanks, Derek.
Thanks, Derek.
Derek put.
I know you're always there, Derek. I know, buddy.
Derek's trying to help you guys.
I know. Appreciate you big time.
Daynapper comes in and says, I feel like Bond was one of the last IPs that wasn't oversaturated. Get ready for a cartoon prequel about Q in high school. What are some other dumb ideas Amazon can make with Bond that no one
It's funny you say that, Daynapper. Did you ever watch James Bond Jr.?
Oh, no.
It's a cartoon in the 90s about a young James Bond.
Is that true?
100% true, dude.
Is it in your book?
It sure as shit is.
That's great.
I mean, I watched it as a kid because I wanted, when you're younger, before you get too jaded, anything about your thing you love, you want to watch.
Sure, of course. More
James Bond Jr.
Derek. Jose Diaz for the win. Thank you. They're trying to get you up.
Thank you.
Jose, thanks, Kristian. Now, every time I see Paul Giamatti, all I think of is of your motherfucking Batman.
Motherfucking Batman! Motherfucking Batman.
That's good.
It's great. Derek Johnson. Thank you, Derek. And thank you. I appreciate that. He follows it up. Best episode of the week is when Steph and Mike are on. Have a good week, y'all.
Thank you.
I don't know when Mike's going to show up. He tries to.
Your mouth.
It's true. Good news is that Brett's coming back. I think we're going to start putting him on the Wednesdays. We're going to do a version of, because Wednesdays usually is either a pre-tape show or I have a special guest. I'm going to start putting Brett on there. We're going to start doing goofball shows, and if nobody watches it, we don't care.
That's fun.
Cupcake Bliss. Is this true? Amazon bought the rights from the Broccoli family? I'm just concerned they will ruin this IP like Disney Lucasfilm ruined Star Wars. I mean, yeah, that's definitely the concern.
What you said, Harloff, is exactly right. I think they pulled a Lucas. I think they're like, we're done. We'll take the money. We do what we wanted to.
Yeah.
No one's gonna mess up our legacy. I mean, that's the thing. And people talk about Star Wars now. Well, we always have the Lucasfilms, and nothing will change that. Like so, right. And even so, more with Bond, nothing they do is going to break canon because Bond really, except for the for the Craig movies, are really connected.
Right.
So it doesn't ruin it. You know.
Interested to see how it's going to pan out.
It's going to be an interesting 4 or 5 years.
Joey Pedros, I met Joe Piscopo last night. That's awesome. Says he loved talking to you and it was one of the best interviews he's ever done. So bravo. I loved talking to Joe. It was good. We actually put in some of the clips on the Clips channel now.
Did you read that thing where Sinatra loved his Piscopo?
Yeah, he talked about it on my interview.
That's cool.
He talked about how he did it for the first time in front of him. And Yeah, he gets into depth about.
I think some other news agency used your interview because that's what I read.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think because they talked about how he did it and his father loved it, or
yeah. He also wrote it in his book though too. So, Gilby Canto become a YouTube member. Thanks, man. Yeah, we're gonna get a lot of new ones here. Another member. Thank you.
Nice.
Yeah, for people who are joining, not only do you get those unedited reactions when you join up as a member, you get the every issue of the Capes and Cows comic book, which is best, and we're gonna be doing a full-on like animated version of that, which I'm excited about. And then we're going to do, we have the Q&As that we do. We have the live streams. There's a lot that we're offering on the membership right now. It's worth it for you guys to head on over there. Ewok, I hope Amazon doesn't dilute the Bond IP by adding unnecessary TV shows and spin-off movies to the core films. Each Bond film should remain an event. I mean, that's what Mike says too. And it's just, but I think Mike knows it's inevitable if they want to try to milk it for everything it's worth.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Or the other thing, though, we didn't really talk about is maybe they're just frustrated that it takes like 5 or 6 or 7 years to get a Bond movie every time. That maybe they're like, look, if we take full control of it, we can make sure that we're getting movies out every 2 or 3 years.
We'll see. We'll see, man.
Galagos, what's up, man? Long time.
Hi.
Hey, Andres.
Hello, everyone. How do you think that this will affect the library? Will the non-Eon movies now become canon now that the Broccoli's are gone? Good question, Mike.
Ooh, like, I mean, you mean like what the hell's it called? Never Say Never Again? With the one Connery one that they didn't do? I don't know, man. I don't know.
You're not sure if it's going to make canon or not?
I don't think so. I think the past is the past. They're going forward.
Okay. I'm curious how they're going to play all of that. I mean, I really am. Like, when do you start thinking it's going to start making the?
I hear we get news very soon. I bet they're hiring writers.
You think so?
They're out there taking writers right now.
They're like, finally,
they wanted it. I bet they were the ones like, we got to get a movie out, and the Broccoli's are like, pump the brakes until we have a story. We're not going, because they've always been very good with that, of not greenlighting or going forward. And then, like, except for there was one film, but I think it was during the writer's strike of 2008 with Quantum of Solace, where they were filming when they didn't have a finished script. But most of the time, they will not get going until it's locked in.
Quantum of Solace. Aron Anada. What does the Scarlet Witch and Daredevil have in common? They both have no vision. Oh, poor Vision.
Good.
Al Rencha, with Amazon, chances we see a non-English Bond.
I said that earlier, man. You are. I mean, again, Connery was Scottish, so
yeah. I mean, you could do. He's got to.
Was Welsh, I think.
He's got to be English, but
European area descent.
He's got to be English. He can be American and do an English accent. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that.
I want to be, because we've got Holland and Cavill and Bale as our American heroes.
Right. So I
get it.
Yeah. I don't want to see an American Bond. Like an actual, I want him to always be English. Galagos, has anyone seen the recently leaked Casino Royale screen test for Sam Worthington, Anthony Starr, and Superman himself, Henry Cavill? I saw the Henry Cavill one. It was hard for me to get past the haircut.
Yeah, I saw all 3 of them. And you got to remember, they're younger in their career.
Yeah,
it's not who they are now.
Thank you. Thank you.
Derek coming in hot today. And so is DJ Case coming in hot too, trying to push you guys over. So Zeus Fleming, which Bond actors would you like to see? WAP movies? Sorry, I'd like to see swap movies. Okay, I'd like to see Craig and Bronson swap out theirs. That's good. That's a good question.
I would love to see Craig do the Moore films, because they're almost borderline like Knives Out level, like absurdity, like his character in Knives Out. Because I know Craig could do it because he does comedy very well. I would love to see that.
Al Rencha, Mike learned his lesson. There's no Diet Coke and a straw.
I had to rush because we were in the middle of a break, and the time was trade coffee was coming to an end. The spot, so I had to run back. I didn't have time to get a straw. Oh, good. Go, pal. Hey, Kristian, I saved Monday's show until I get to see Cap. What happened to your vacation? Well, I talked about it the other day. My little one got sick like the morning of, or the night before actually, and then the morning of, we're like, can't put her on a plane right now. And then my sister-in-law got sick. She had the flu, so we weren't going to wind up seeing her if we were there. And then turns out, because we moved the flight, we moved the hotel and everything, and then it turns out, because there was a storm here, the flight we were supposed to be on got delayed by 5 hours.
So we
Gross.
kind of dodged a bullet, to be honest. And then we just moved back a few weeks, so we're gonna take a trip in a couple of weeks. So it was okay, and we got some stuff done here too, so it worked out. But thank you, GoPal. Armada Reacher is back. I hear good things, Mike.
I heard season 3 is great.
Yeah.
I'll say this: it's probably one of my least favorite books. Persuader.
Okay.
It's based on Persuader, but I don't care because he's awesome in the role, and they've done great so far. So I'll be there.
Zeus Fleming. There was a young James Bond cartoon in the 90s. Okay,
yes, sir. James Bond Jr., baby.
Go, pal. I just saw Conclave last week. That was not the movie I expected. I liked it, but not what I thought I was getting into. Yeah, I liked a lot of it. I don't want to spoil it. There's just one major issue I have, and it has nothing to do with the reveal. It sort of does, but not in the way that you think. It's just, yeah, I can't even get into it because I don't want to spoil it for people. But it just to me is like, I don't even know how to explain it because you guys haven't seen the movie.
I've seen it.
You've seen it?
Completely agree with you, GoPal. I started it thinking it was going to be one thing, and the music and everything cued me into this is going to be kind of like a horror, and it was.
Oh wow!
Yeah, I never watched a trailer, so I was like, "This is creepy."
Okay,
is this a serious murder mystery? But yeah, it's a different vibe than what I thought.
It's beautifully shot. It's such
it
was in my top 10. It was I think it was my number 10. But that's also because I forgot Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, so it probably would have been 11. But either way, it was a really solid movie. Call Me Jabba. Had COVID over the weekend and finally watched We Live in Time. Andrew and Florence were incredible. The time skips felt like trying to remember someone. Yeah, it was a really good movie. Underrated. It's an underrated movie for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. I was surprised it got no nominations. It felt like.
I know it didn't. It really got ignored. Derek Johnson, come on, Mike. Tried to start you off the best.
I know you did, buddy. I know you did.
Yeah, Mike, you only need about another 120 before you catch up to Rocha and Roxy. Ewok, given WB's openness to reusing the classic themes for some of their major IPs like Superman and House of the Dragon, do you think it'll be likely they'll use John Williams' Harry Potter theme for the upcoming series? I'm going to say the same thing I did for Superman, and people ain't going to like it. I think they should. I think that Harry Potter theme is just so cued into what Harry Potter is. When you hear it, you just think Harry Potter. I think that they should.
That's like, Amazon's using the Bond theme. They ain't changing that.
You have to, right. What's the difference?
You can't change that.
That would be insane.
You
right.
Can't change it.
Right. What's the difference? It's just because
man. The Potter one's different because we've only had the one series of films. That's it. There's been no.
But it's one of the done.
I know.
But wait, by that rationale, Mike. So then, if they would have, because the first Bonds was like mid 60s, late 60s,
62,
I mean early 60s. Okay, so and how many did Connery do?
Oh shit, 7.
Okay, so after those 7, let's say that the next Bond that comes in, they change the theme.
Hold on, you go on, keep talking.
But let's say they change the theme song right after that. Then you'd be like,
he did 6.
But if they would have changed the theme song right after him,
yeah, I don't know because it's different. It would have been before my time.
I'm just saying that.
No, Bond is the theme song. It's Bond.
Yeah, it should be the theme song.
It's like Indiana Jones. If they ever do Indiana Jones, you've got the theme.
That's why I'm glad that they're using the Superman. Jay Napper. One day, someone will write the script for the new 007 movie. Amazon will give one note saying, "Don't make the villain a billionaire." Oh, right. Yeah, maybe.
Oh, I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
DJ. Yeah, I got you.
Support. Go pal. Same for Companion. No spoilers, but surprising. I didn't see Companion. Did you guys see that?
I didn't see Companion yet.
Luke S. Support for the lovely Steph. F. Mike.
Thanks.
What'd I do?
No, gotta ask them. All right. Go pal. Mike, can you go into the Thunderball ownership? What's that?
It's funny you say that, Go pal, because there just happens to be a book that's out that goes into that.
All right.
Yeah,
give it away for free.
A guy named Kevin McClory had the rights to the story of Thunderball, and he had certain things in the book that the Broccoli's also had rights to, so they can make competing films. And it's a long, interesting story. It's when I was researching the book, that was a lot I didn't know.
This is the stupidest thing that anyone has said, and I'll take ownership for it. After hearing all this, Steph, I have broccoli for lunch, and I'm getting hungry for it now. Hearing Mike talk about broccoli. Told you it was stupid. Armada, maybe
Jesus Christ.
Maybe a Bond game can reunite the franchise like what Hogwarts Legacy influenced the new HBO show. Also, thoughts if McQuarrie did a Pirates film.
It's funny you say that. I thought they had a Bond game. I think they do have a Bond game in development right now. That could have been changed with the sale. But I understood that they were pretty far along on.
Were you good at GoldenEye, Mike?
Come on, man. You fucking kidding me? You didn't come down to room what was it? 204, 104 on the corner there, watching me, Shane Mesner, Mike Rovins, killing it every night on GoldenEye.
Because we used. Oh no, you were at the house. We played at Royal Village.
Best era, the mid '90s with GoldenEye, college.
Yeah, Royal Village. It was everywhere. Like at Melgren's place all the time.
You were the kind of guy that walked around with Odd Job with the slaps.
No, that was Perm.
Dickhead.
That was Perm.
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 I bet you did that.
No, Perm did that. I wasn't an Odd Job guy.
Perm slapped.
Yeah, it was Perm. Derek Johnson. Thank you, Derek. And so DJ coming in right after. So they're trying to push you guys. They're trying. Mike Joyce. Any unique Bond movies, Mike? The ones I've seen seem like generic spy movies. Daniel Craig's Bond is the best to me. I like that he had an arc and died. Yeah, I like
It's interesting. If you want non-generic spy movies, go the Roger Moore route, dude. Go see those. Those are out there. Go Moonraker. Go watch Moonraker. Let me know what you think.
With Roger Moore's, you always see that clip on Instagram or TikTok or whatever about the stunt guy who's jumping on the alligators.
Yeah,
that was crazy.
Go watch. Is that Mike Joyce said that question, right?
Yeah.
Mike, go watch Moonraker and come back to me. Let me know if you think that's generic spy.
Well, King of the Wicker People. Mike, how likely is it that Amazon courts Nolan for his '60s version of Bond?
It ain't happening.
He's not going to do it.
I think Nolan did his Tenet and his Inception, and that was kind of his mix of Bond. Yeah, he's moved on.
Go, pal. It's funny Cruise won't allow a Mission Impossible TV show when that's where he got it. Yeah, because I feel like he feels like he evolved it.
And I think he thinks it'll water it down.
Yeah, and I don't disagree with him.
I don't disagree.
Dennis Hoffman. Mike, any of the Dynamite Bond comics any good? Any recommendations?
They're great. Eidolon and Varger, the two first ones. I think Grant Morrison did them. Read those. The two very first ones.
Nathan Stowe, who's your favorite Bond villain? For me, I'm going to go Javier Bardem.
Yeah, Silva.
Same for you.
Oh yeah.
Steph, have you seen any of them yet? You haven't seen them? Okay.
He's one of the only Bond villains that I can think of that actually won.
Okay.
Like he died. Yeah. He won.
Yeah. You going to say something, Steph?
No, well, I think my family had them on in the background. I remember Halle Berry.
Okay.
Your dad seems to me like a Bond guy.
Yeah, he definitely, he likes it. So I it's had to be on in the background. I need to give it some attention.
Yeah, you should for sure. I would say for you, probably start with the Craig ones. Okay. Cupcake Bliss. I agree with Mike. Bond needs to be seen in theaters, period. As a 25-year-old woman, keep Bond as Bond. Don't change it. However, I would be open to see and get the other 00s. Who do you think?
So Cupcake Bliss, that is fat. I love meeting women Bond fans, especially if you're 25, and so you were much later in the franchise. So I love to see, because again, for so long it was always deemed as like a guy, and not from a macho. This is dudes, because he's a womanizer, and it was a lot of women with eye candy, and women are damsels in distress. Even though they had some incredibly strong women, even on the early '60s Bonds, so it was almost got a bad rap. Fuck off. But all the early Bond films, they always had girls that were matches for Bond. But again, in the end, Bond got the girl. So it was
right.
But to meet women that are fans of Bond, I love that, because it's just something so cool. But I agree with what you're saying. I think if they decide to go the route of the other 00s, that is something of a spinoff that I would be on board for. Leave Bond, put him on the big screen, and make it the 00 section, and we follow other 00s. I think that is a phenomenal idea for them to do.
Go, pal. I've been a Bond fan since they used to do the however many days of Bond events a couple of times a year on PBS. Back in the best. Yes, you and Gopal could probably talk for hours on this. Between that and then once you guys were done, then Steph and I would enter the conversation and talk to him about Dune. Yeah, he loves Dune. Day Napper, I'd be okay with an old man Bond movie. Bring back Brosnan for a one-off. That'd be cool.
That's another great idea. That's something they haven't done.
Yeah, other than that, just make a good Bond movie first and make another. Don't be like Star Wars announced 5 projects in the works. Agreed. I mean, that'd be
You
great.
guys are all you guys are all on the right page here. This is great.
Love to see another Pierce Brosnan like one-off.
Old man Bond, like one-off.
Yeah, it'd be great.
That's fucking good.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Go, pal. I'm not excited that Amazon got control, but I'll probably watch whatever they put out unless it's horrendously bad or reality TV.
I'll say this with Amazon. They've got the money and it shows. When they put something up, it does look great. So we'll see.
Armada, Christian Bale has to be in Odyssey also.
He worked with Nolan, yeah. I was like,
of course.
Does he work with Nolan? I was like, oh fuck.
Yeah, he's
it's so funny.
Twice. No, 4 times, right? 4 times.
3 films in Prestige. But I think of Nolan now, post Dark Knight, is like a second phase of his career, almost to me.
Right.
Like the Dark Knight, because it was an IP and it was someone else's property.
Yeah.
And then he went off and I know he'd done films before the Dark Knight that weren't.
But he already had
he's now on another level than he was back then.
Yeah. Jack, question for all. Who would be your stream sponsor or collab? Bubbly water. Just to be able to drink bubbly water forever. That's
Diet Coke. Can we get Diet Coke here for a sponsor?
I don't want
to put the work in. Put the work in.
Steph?
I like that there's trade coffee.
Yeah, exactly. We gotta have.
I'll say this, Harloff. I don't miss hanging out with you every week.
Oh, good.
But I do miss going into your studio and smelling that coffee.
Wasn't it the best?
I'm not even a coffee drinker, and I just love the smell of it.
Yeah.
Anyone remember the time they tried to make a movie where the central plot point is dominance? Firebirds, Nick Cage, Tommy Lee Jones.
Wait, central point is dominance.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
I don't know.
Dominance?
I'm not sure. But you remind me with the sponsors, though, before we move on to the rest of the questions. I do got to tell you about Robinhood. And that's another one. Really good sponsor. Robinhood Gold. With Robinhood Gold, you can now enjoy the VIP treatment, receiving a 3% IRA match on retirement contributions. The privileges of the very privileged are no longer exclusive. With Robinhood Gold, your annual IRA contributions are boosted by 3%. Plus, you also get 4% APY on your cash in non-retirement accounts. That's over 8 times the national savings average. The perks of the high net worth are now available for any net worth. The new gold standard is here with Robinhood Gold. To receive your 3% boost on annual IRA contributions, sign up at Robinhood.com/gold. Investing involves risk. Rate subject to change. 3% match requires Robinhood Gold at $5 a month for 1 year from first match. Must keep funds in IRA for 5 years. Go to Robinhood.com/boost. Over 8 times the national average savings account. Interest rate claim is based on data from the FDIC as of November 18th, 2024. Robinhood Financial LLC, member SIPC. Gold membership is offered by Robinhood Gold LLC. All right, thank you to Robinhood Gold for, again, sponsoring the show. We have a lot of great sponsors, as you guys mentioned before, and I'm glad that you are enjoying them. Okay, Big Bang OT4. Who are your Oscar picks for Best Picture? Right now, I'm still going to say Brutalist. Best Actor, Adrian Brody. Best Actress, Zoe Saldana. I hope Nora, Timothy Chalamet, and Mikey Madison win. I'd like to see all 3 of those, but I don't think it's going to happen. Great show. Steph, you got picks? Mike, you can go to sleep for a second.
The only one I care. Oh, go ahead, Steph.
I think I'm gonna just say Best Picture, Wicked. I'm putting that.
You think it's gonna win?
I think it could. That or a complete unknown could be. I don't think they're gonna win, but I am curious how Amelia Perez and The Brutalist play out. I'm with you. If I was really betting, I'd probably pick The Brutalist, but I just want Wicked to win. But I think that lead actress Demi Moore and
yeah,
I was with you, Steph. The only one I care about, I want Demi Moore to win.
Right, Zoe Saldana is supporting actress.
Yeah,
supporting actress.
Right. I want Demi Moore.
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't know. Ariana might win supporting
over Zoe Saldana. No way.
I'm just curious with how the movie's playing out.
Yeah, but I don't think she's going to be penalized for that.
Okay.
I don't think she's going to be penalized for it. I think the movie itself will be penalized for Best Picture,
but not her. Yeah, she'll probably just do a sweep.
Yeah,
seems like, and same with Demi Moore. They seem like they're sweeping. So.
Agree. Yeah. All right, Renetta.
Not mad at it.
Some support for the crew. I love you. Wow. Amazon taking creative control of Bond. We'll see. Hopefully it's not ruined. I love my Bond franchise. There you go, Mike. So you got a bunch of ladies here today supporting Bond. So go, pal. Kevin Smith doesn't draw the big numbers, but I think people who go to it because it's a Kevin Smith movie, let's say 100%. 100%.
Well, with Smith, too, his films don't cost him a lot.
Right. So
I bet they always turn a profit.
But it's a great point. You're going to the movie because it's a Kevin Smith movie.
100%.
100%. JC, Amazon should pay Tarantino what he wants to make a Bond series. Oh my god, you would hate that, right?
No, I'm not against because he does something different. Like it'll be a Tarantino Bond movie, but that will be something, man. Will I love it? I don't know, but at least it will be, yeah,
it'll be interesting.
Excuse me.
Edge Rated. Hey guys, longtime follower, new member here. Thank you, Edge Rated. Love what you do so much that I started my own channel. It's amazing. Steph, lovely as always. Mike, keep being grumpy. That's right.
I will. Well, I was going to say something nice about your logo there, but no, fuck you then. No. I think that logo, buddy, I was just kind of on this whole thing of logos recently, and I love it. Your thing is, it's great. It's ER, but it's backwards, so it doesn't really look like ER of like the TV show.
Yeah.
If you did that on your own or someone did that for you, money well spent.
Great. Yeah, it was good. It was good and good. I'm glad you started your own channel. It's amazing, and I always hear they're always humble when people say that. So thank you very much, Renetta. Part 1. Amazon's on a roll. They are restricting your Kindle books or order. If you bought a book digitally, make sure you download it to a USB or PC. Oh man,
what does that mean? I do have a lot of books on Kindle.
Me too.
I guess you have to. They're gonna.
Kindle books or order.
Yeah, they're restricting your Kindle. Like, I guess the amount of ones that you have.
That
you can store. That's
physical media, baby. I do digital some books, but I always physical media.
Which follows it up. If you don't, anything can be edited, taken away, or removed at any time, just like streaming. Double-edged sword. You have until February.
I'm torn with that because with a book, if you're the author, you can go in and edit a punctuation or misspellings that always get through. So that's kind of cool.
Yeah,
but I know what you're saying. I get you.
And they can take it off like streaming.
Yeah, take it off whenever.
Panther. What's your favorite movie set on a ship or a boat?
Oh, I got one. Deep Rising, Treat Williams.
Okay,
it's awesome. Go watch it if you haven't seen it. Deep Rising.
That's on the boat the whole time.
Yeah, they're on a boat the whole time.
No. But I'm trying to think. That's what the question is.
Don't say Titanic, dummy. Be original.
No.
Titanic.
Really?
Sure. Takes place on a boat.
Okay, on a boat. The one that's coming to mind because I just watched it is Pirates of the Caribbean. Super fun. But
is it but not the whole movie though? That's what I'm saying. I would have picked that too. Like that's
okay.
I don't know if he's asking the whole movie, but it's like the movie set on a ship. Master
Life of Pi.
That's a good one.
Ooh, good one, Steph.
Yeah. Renetta W. Oh, we did that one, right? Okay. Thank you to everybody who's so far. Right now, you guys are not too far away. 196. 196. You only have about 100 left. Right, Mike? DJ Case, for Mike, who is your top choice for the next Bond? And if you had no choice but an American actor, who could you see playing the role?
A lot of people do ask me this, and I don't watch enough television and movies to know who's the current guy. For a while, Richard Madden was my choice before he got involved with Eternals and Citadel on Amazon. To me, Bond sells itself. You can get an unknown, some guy that's working theater in London.
Definitely.
That just looks the part and carries himself well.
Daniel Craig wasn't like a massive star.
No, he did. He did Road to Perdition, which no one knew him in yet, and Layer Cake.
Yeah, right.
He was in Tomb Raider, the first Tomb Raider, but I remember watching that first Tomb Raider and going, "Who's this guy? He's got something about him."
Right.
Because he had.
I forgot he's in that.
You talk about actors that have. There are 2 times that's happened in my life. One was that movie, and then in Passenger 57, Elizabeth Hurley is a flight attendant.
Oh wow!
But you watch her and you're like,
bad, right? Actress. Too bad.
Yeah, she's a bad guy. But you're just watching like this actor's got too much charisma for this small part,
right?
And that's how big.
It's that's like Sam Rockwell in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
You're not wrong. He was there.
He's in that.
Yes.
Yeah, he's the lead. Kind of like
1990s, like he's part of the Foot.
Oh my god!
And I think Skeet Ulrich is one of the Foot gang in the background.
Is he really? It's hilarious.
Yeah.
Isn't Aaron Taylor Johnson supposed to be the next Bond?
There was talk, but I think that crumbled when he's.
I think Mike's right though. I think you're gonna start hearing those talks heat up.
Aaron Taylor Johnson, I would not be opposed to.
Sahita K. Hot take. Sam will like Lord of the Rings even more than Marvel. I think she'll like it. She's dreading it, and she thinks it's going to be terrible. But
why does she think that?
I think because she thinks fantasy and elves and all these things, like she just doesn't think that it's for her. I don't think she realizes how good of movies they are. She won't like Hobbit. She definitely won't like those movies, but she'll like Lord of the Rings. I know she will. Will she like them more than Marvel? I don't think so, but I think she will like Lord of the Rings. Rafts UK Rafton, can you wish my wife a happy birthday? Is Arnie? Hey, listen, it's very nice of you to be here and be there and be everywhere. But the most important thing is to look at your wife and say, happy birthday to you. Why you? Because why not you? It is your birthday and you should be celebrated. And to be honest, I think you should celebrate the mamas first because they're the one who push you out and go, and then there you go. You get the cookie and then you have your life. It's celebrated. It's their day. That should be the Mother's Day. But this is not because society says this is your day. So happy birthday to you. There you go.
Get the cookie.
Dude, have you ever seen his video when he talks about his post-workout shake?
I'm sure.
He mix it with the cherry. Here's the secret knobs.
Yeah. So
Fucking great.
Best. But nothing's gonna beat the whiskey and Lulu pandemic.
Is that with the little horse?
A horse and the donkey. He's got a horse and a donkey walking around his house. This is whiskey. This is Lulu. Come here. Come on. How are you doing? Talks to them like they're just human beings. I love it. It's the best. A donkey and a horse walking around his house. Renata W. Reacher is back. Yeah, I gotta watch. I gotta finish up on season 2. I gotta finish up.
Come on, that show is just so good.
It's good. Tyler Brecken. Mike and Steph should swap headphones for an episode. That'd be amazing.
No.
I'll give myself a pair like that.
Switch cameras.
Okay.
Shut your mouth.
Bobby. What's up, Bobby? Did you see that Bezos is asking his Twitter followers who should be Bond? Really? Cavill's name is being flooded in the replies. You think it's a good idea to cast through fandom?
No.
Not necessarily. No, I don't think it's a bad idea because
I don't think so, but everything this guy does, it just stinks. I can't stand him. He's such like a loser grown up. No. I love Cavill. Bezos. It's like, oh my God. It's like he's finally lost his virginity and he's like about to just give his will to the whole world of what it's like he's the villain, the Vortex villain from Despicable Me. He's just so corny.
In the orange suit?
Yeah, in the orange suit. Amazing. That's what I think of. You're corny.
That's so hilarious.
Yeah, Cavill.
Hey, who do you think the next Bond should be?
Right. Because
like,
I got money.
Right.
Like that to me is a very like I was a kid that was bullied moves. Like I just bought it. I bought Bond. So hey everybody, it's me.
Yeah.
I'm thinking Carrot Top.
Mike's Movie Madness. Nolan is my number 1 favorite filmmaker. The Odyssey is my number 1 over Dune Part 3. Sorry, Denny. I love you and I'll be there day 1, but I'm always excited for Nolan film. I'm not going to argue with you on that. I'm not going to argue with you. I could switch out those 3 movies. The Spielberg UFO movie is going to really rely on a trailer, but it's up there for me right now. If it turns out it just looks like another kind of like,
He is the one of the Assanin El Ghalib with the Ben Gesserit and the spice. The Ben Gesserit is speaking to me, and then Fat Man comes up from the oil.
It's amazing that your sound still works. It's amazing. You just
what do you think of the Ben Gesserit? I bet those balls won't pass that Ben Gesserit test. I'll stick those balls in that little box and have you fucking freak out.
Hey, look down on the left.
Tripod looking shithead.
Shut your stupid ass. Look it to the left. That's Ben. And on the right, that's Jesuit. They're going to go right in your mouth.
Ben and Gesserit. Look at those fucking things.
Right. I'm smooth. Now I'm dead because your breath stinks.
Is that your penis sticking up there?
Yeah.
That little fucking fur thing?
Take a whiff.
Nub?
Take a whiff. Check it out.
Take a whiff or tickle it?
Both.
Hold on a second. I got to see that up close. I need these things on.
There you go.
Jesus Christ.
Open up and say, like to the dentist.
Calling him a tripod looking.
All right.
You all right, Steph?
That's the funniest thing you've ever said.
How is this now worth hundreds of questions, people?
I know. You guys are you've finally, Mike, for the first time ever, you actually surpassed 200.
Really funny, Mike.
Jenny Lynn, Texas is trying to bring back a film to the state. Some business owners welcome it. What are your thoughts? Tagged you in a Twitter post from AP. I mean, they're trying to do a lot of things though too. Rena Rogan brought like comedy back there and kind of full force. They're trying to do a lot of things. So I'm not sure, look, if they can get the cuts and it's cheaper to film there, why not?
Yeah.
What do you guys think?
I had this conversation with someone the other day. Every state in the 30 years I've been an actor has always tried to bring film. When I was in Florida, they tried to get it there. Louisiana tried to get it. Georgia got it there, but it's now leaving there.
Is it leaving now?
It's not leaving, but like you can only do so much.
Because they have Pine Studios here, don't they?
Right, but I heard Marvel's leaving there.
Are they leaving?
They're going to England now.
Oh, right.
Because your talent pool is small, so you get your actors and you can only use them once.
Yeah.
And then Nevada tried it. Texas is trying it. Vancouver did, but then CW left, and they'll always make movies there. But it's just like, here's the thing: it's incredibly expensive to film in LA. It's cost prohibitive. They don't make it prohibitive. They don't make it so you can shoot here. It sucks. It's terrible.
Yeah.
But everyone that works on these films lives here. And sure, for a year they might go for a TV show, and they're like, I got to get back to my family. I love the weather in LA. So Texas, I would love it to go to Texas because I could move to Texas and I love Texas. But we've seen that happen over 30 years.
Tommy McLeod. That's because it's all woke. Bob Iger doesn't want to keep losing money. What is that? Minus 700,000 subs. Oh, they lost the subs on Disney. Yeah. He has investors to listen to, and guess how many investors have purple hair? Very few. This is the way. Well, I mean, I think there's more to that than just,
Yeah.
I think, look, there are times, and we've talked about it many times over. There are times when the cause is absolutely 100% just, and everybody should be. You need to pay attention to everybody. Everybody should have opportunity. We've all agreed on that. There are times that people try to either capitalize on what, they're doing it, we need to do it too, and it hurts the product in general. Or, we don't want to get screamed at on Twitter, so we're going to do this instead. And it's like, no, do it right. Do everything right. And I think that there's a time when people will call you out on BS, but I also think there's times when people are just being douchebags to be douchebags. Like anybody at any time, you look at like, by the way, you look at Star Wars when John Boyega was cast as Stormtrooper. Like, you can have black Stormtroopers. You're a moron. You're a moron if you think that you can have a black Stormtrooper. I mean, that's so stupid. They're behind masks. He takes his mask off. They don't. It's a completely different culture. It's ridiculous. And he was fantastic. They just ruined the character. It wasn't him, And so that, to me, you're always going to have people who are just screaming it because of ignorance. But there are times when it's forced. There's no doubt about it. But I don't necessarily know if this was the case with why they're canceling it. But I think that there's just too much going on within Marvel. It's like, take a break. Josh Needle. I'm obsessed with epic films like The Ten Commandments, Ben-Hur. I love that Nolan is keeping them alive. The Odyssey is easily my number one anticipated. That movie it's going to make $1 billion. It's going to make $1 billion. Easily. Yeah. Derek Johnson. I've never wanted to see the actor who played Iron Fist again. I heard he was terrible. Him combined with bad writing and storytelling literally made me hate the show. It was the only Netflix show that could be forgotten. I never saw a single frame of that show.
Yeah, I mean, there was whole stories where they didn't have time to train him, but then I also heard the story he didn't want to train, and it was just that Justin Timberlake Jerry curl that they gave him that was like ridiculous, and he was one of those guys at the time that every actor on Game of Thrones was working elsewhere, so he was Game of Thrones, and they were like, "You're going to be Iron Fist," and yeah. But I would love to see Marvel what they do, and they kind of take what was given and revamp it, and everyone falls in love with it. So maybe they can make it work with him.
Maybe so. Someone said we were thinking about Bob Chapek. No, we were definitely thinking about Michael Eisner. Michael Eisner did the whole vault with doing that stuff.
We're talking back 80s, early 90s.
Yeah, like early 90s. Nathan Drake. Hey, Kristian, not trying to bust balls. I think Brad asked you this once. What do you think about cryptids? For example, Bigfoot or Mothman. I mean, that's not stuff that, I mean, to me, that's just I don't know enough about it. I'm not going to say, like, to me, it's still kind of fantasy. There's not been enough proof. Some people think that they're completely the opposite side of that. I think there has been proof of that. I think, to me, the reason why I even got interested in the UFO topic at all is because of the military leaders and people that have actually been witness to this thing. It's not just some guy behind his shed drinking moonshine anymore going, look at what I saw last night. It's like these are like actually military leaders that are talking about this stuff, and people who have been in the various people, scientists, Harvard educated people like this. There's just so much more to it. As Steph said before, I just paid a lot more attention to it and know all these different reports. So a new member, thank you, Marie Hoff, love it. A lot of new members. Dennis Hoffman, enjoyed your Joe interview, but man, he really shut down. Excited for his Vince Vaughn movie. Yeah, I know. I was bummed about it because I felt it, and I was bummed that he felt about it because I don't know. I mean, maybe and to be completely honest, I kind of when I was with him in for one-on-one with Kristian, I think we went about an hour. Didn't feel like he wanted to do an hour when we were talking, so I let him go a little early. He was very kind. He was very nice when we were talking. He was great, and I'll interview him again next time he's got something coming up. I just like I said, you watched the beginning of that interview. He wanted to talk about his show, which he's on, and I completely understand that. He doesn't like going back into the past, and he said as much in the interview. He doesn't like to rehash those types of things. But yeah, I mean that's why if you see when I'm talking to him, I shift into talking movies with him because that's when he opened back up again. DJ Casey gifted 10 memberships. Thank you, DJ.
Nice.
Amazing.
That should count as 10 questions.
It does. It does, dickhead. Tommy McLeod, about to be MI6. Come on. Shahida K was watching King Kong. Man. Oh, Peter Jackson's King Kong. Man, he can direct. His films have particularly gritty, intense quality. Why do you think he didn't direct more non-Lord of the Rings films? I don't know. I think he got really tied into Weta and those things too. But like it's funny. He didn't. You felt like he would be making a lot of movies after that, and he didn't. He didn't make a ton of them. He produced a bunch of stuff, but he's not even directing the Gollum film. He's producing it. So I don't know. How do you guys feel about it?
I feel like that was a personal choice then.
Yeah, I think maybe he was like, I'm gonna go work on this kind of like.
Yeah.
He to me is like a Cameron, where he loves the technical and advancing the technical. So when he has a story, he'll tell it. And
I feel about this, Mike. Tommy McLeod says, give 007 to the Reacher team.
It's different, guys, because Reacher is a man, like he's a guy that walks the United States and trouble finds him. He's not a globe-trotting, exotic locale. Like Reacher, I think in all the books, I think he's gone out of the United States, I think in one book, maybe two. Like Bond is global.
Yeah, it's global. It's true.
Reacher, I mean, the story that the series 3 takes place essentially in one mansion.
Yeah.
It's one estate that he's in the whole book. So
I gotta check out season 2. Tommy McLeod, Mike and Steph are the best shows. There you go, Mike.
That's right, baby. So get them numbers while up there.
Tim Sim, if there's any speculation about Christopher Nolan doing a Bond film, throw that out the window because there will be, to subtly put it, creative differences between him and Amazon. That's true.
His deal with Universal, Warner Brothers, whoever let him go, and whatever that happened with that, where they didn't give him everything, should be fired from the company.
They're already gone. They're not. Those people aren't.
Because he basically said, "All right, Universal, you're going to get," and they're like, "What do you want?"
Well, but it was the same guy that was talking about he wanted to make sure his movies went in day in release and those types. He's like, no, I'm not doing that. My movies are for the theater. Yeah, I'm out. And there was a bunch of other stuff too, but like, that person's no longer there anyway. That was before Solo. Yeah. All right. Sean McKay, what's up, Sean? If you need a goofball, I'm your man. I'm thinking about I got to bring back, maybe when Brett's on, I'll bring back the goofball theme. I love that theme. Beagle Studio. I honestly think Hawkeye is important for Clint's story post Endgame. By the way, I love the reactions with Sam. Thank you so much. Also, Hawkeye should have been a film instead. Maybe, the problem is also when you got to remember that what I don't want to do is do a whole series of Hawkeye and then 6 people watch the videos. It's deflating. Like I'm doing Squid Game right now and I'm going to finish Squid Game, but nobody's watching them. But I love the Hawkeye show. Hawkeye? Yeah, it's fine. It's fine, but it's not enough. People aren't going to click on it. And it's like, and what I promised myself I wasn't going to do again is another Agatha situation. Because I said, all right, you know what? I'm gonna finish Squid Game all the way through. I'm gonna do all the reactions. I got another one coming out. And I'm gonna finish it. But like it's like to put, you do it, you get the editing and you do all the stuff, and then it's like the people who are watching it, I want to say, like, thank you for watching. I'm gonna continue to do it. But I don't want do that if I know Hawkeye. No one's gonna click on those videos. Come on. Tommy McLeod, give us one-time return of Brosnan as Old Man Double C.
Have you seen Brosnan right now? Like that guy is still suave, looks fantastic. Like that would be give him because he was kind of I won't go into it. He was kind of unceremoniously pushed aside.
Oh, was he?
Yeah, it wasn't a good
drive-by fruiting.
It wasn't a good ending, but give him that. Whew.
Mike Joyce, will we get a James Bond Austin Powers crossover? Oh my God, no, please. Captain Penis.
No, that'd be awesome.
Thoughts on Oscar nominations? Nora and Wicked are my favorites. This is going to be the most uneventful Oscars out of all of them because the people, it's as you heard Steph before, nobody knows who's going to win. I honestly would be thrilled if Wicked kind of took by surprise and won Best Picture, or I would rather see Dune win it, but there's no chance in hell that's going to happen.
Yeah,
nonsense.
Yeah, but you're a nonsense. Everything you say is nonsense. All right, Sean. Mike, my brother always said that you were the Schmodown trivia goat. There you go.
Thank you, sir. Many will disagree with that, but I'll take it.
I'll give you the inner geek.
I think you're probably my favorite.
Oh, look at that.
If you, thank you, Steph. Because Harloff, you're sitting there saying inner geekdom, but you have to, you got to take it all in. You got to take it all in.
I would say, look, if you're looking at overall Schmodown player, you're in the conversation. You're in the conversation. Tommy McLeod, if Amazon likes Cavill with Warhammer, maybe 007 works. Maybe. It's going to be interesting to see if he shows up. Go, pal. Connery is Scottish, Brosnan is Irish, Lazenby is Australian, so they haven't all been English. I think Bond is canonically a Scot too. Mike?
You're right. And that's why I had said, like, Connery is Scottish, but there's just something, and again, Australian is not European.
Yeah,
hey, I'm an American.
Right.
You know, I would love, but I don't know, man. I don't know.
Lazenby is Australian.
It's a stupid feeling, but you know.
Yeah. Well, I mean, a lot of people are counting.
I like Lazenby too as Bond.
But he asked, is Bond the character originally Scottish?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I think he's English.
Z-Rod, favorite Top Gun 2 character besides Tom Cruise? Rooster.
Bob.
Yeah.
Bob's pretty good too.
I love Bob.
Yeah, Bob's pretty good.
Because it was kind of a smaller, I don't want to say it was a nothing role, but and that's why I'm excited about Thunderbolts to see what Lewis Pullman does.
Yeah, Lewis Pullman's
he was an actor that elevated the material.
I agree. I totally agree. I think they were all really good, but Rooster to me was probably my favorite. Simon Section, part 1. Guys, do you remember another GoldenEye first shooter game where you're an agent that kills Bond and works for the bad guys with a bionic eye that can emit magnetic protective shields around you? Mike really does.
I talked about this in my book too. It was a sequel to GoldenEye.
Was it?
And
really?
And it was kind of like he was a bad guy turned good. When I was researching the book, I never played the game, but researching the book and that game made me want to play it because I was like, this is a really good idea.
Yeah.
But yeah, great. I mean, good memory there. Good on that, man.
All right. Let's see. So thank you for that one, Simon. Joey Pedras, trying to read more regularly. Have you guys read anything recently you'd recommend? I'm reading a bunch of UFO shit right now. So it's not so.
Are you talking fiction or nonfiction? Because fiction, I read tons of spy stuff. There's Vince Flynn, Kyle Mills, Mark Graney does the Gray Man series, which is phenomenal. Read Mitch Rapp, The Gray Man, James Reese, which is Jack Carr, which is the Terminalist stuff, is phenomenal. Yeah, man. What else is there? Those are my top ones right now. If you're on Twitter, reach out to me. I'll give you a ton of recommendations.
Steph, you got anything right now?
Yeah, I'm loving the Sarah J. Maas series. I'm on the Throne of Glass one. She also does the Court of Thorn and Roses. I haven't done that one. That's more romance, but they're just fun fantasy books.
All right. Tommy McLeod, how was Mike not cast in Lanterns? Did you get an audition for that one?
No.
Did you try?
Not at the level they were looking at.
All right. Stern 1-2, aka Chris. I flipped off the screen when Bond died. Oh, sad. Don H. First Bond film you saw in the theater. Mine was Moonraker. Ooh. Oh, it was a Brosnan film, I think. I don't think I saw.
I saw all. I mean, the first one I saw was Octopussy.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, I remember that one vividly, and that was my love of Bond was Octopussy, and then
Nathan Drake. I loved when Mike gave Kristian crap for being in New York and eating sushi. I never liked sushi. Kristian, ever been to Johnny Pepperoni in New Jersey? It's great. I don't even remember.
Johnny Pepperoni?
It's pretty great.
Johnny Pepperoni.
You need to go to Johnny Pepperoni. You are Johnny Pepperoni.
Yeah, Johnny. You know who you are in New York? You're Abu Bag of Donuts. That's who you are. When I think of New York, I'm thinking of you and Abu Bag of Donuts.
It's pretty good. You think about that for the whole show before you finally deliver it?
No, it was actually it was a book I was reading. They were talking about, terrorists and like, oh yeah, we're gonna get this. We got to go get, the next Abu Bag of Donuts, and I lost it.
You love it.
Lost it.
But yeah, I love sushi. Donna, I love it. First Bond film you saw. We did that one.
You read that one. Come on now, Joe. Abu Bag of Donuts.
Trey Porter, thoughts on Will Smith wanting Zendaya for Hancock 2? I feel that if Hancock 1 came out 10 years later during the R-rated comic book boom, then it embraced the mature themes that were implied. Yeah, we didn't really get to this. I Am Legend and Hancock 2, both Smith said they're going to do it. They got to do it small. It's got to be smaller budgets. I don't know if they're going to do it small or straight to streaming, and they can, put as much money as they want for Apple, whatever they're going to do. Does anybody really want those movies? I mean, will I watch them? Sure. But it's like, I don't know if you get
like the first one. I think the first one made money.
Okay. Yeah.
It's okay. Like the original script, I think it was like he Comes Tonight, it was called.
Okay.
But does anyone care about that anymore?
I mean, Steph, do you care about those?
No.
And Will Smith is not the Will Smith of the 90s and early 2000s where you went to see the next Will Smith.
Right. I think you got a better shot at doing the one that you really care about is I Am Legend 2. You could probably do something with and make it big because it's another superhero movie, whether it's like
that's not a DC Marvel.
It's Marvel thing. It's just so to
be Hancock 2, that screams streaming.
Right. That's what I mean, like an Apple movie or something. Timing section. Part 2, the tagline to GoldenEye video game was "Why save the world when you can rule it?" Wouldn't be surprised if they turned it into a TV show.
Hey man,
they very well might.
Yeah,
they very well might. Mearsum, what's up, Mearsum? Support for Steph, Mike, and Kristian. Thank you.
Thanks.
And Kristian.
I know. Nathan Drake, Jonathan Pryce was an underrated Bond villain.
He was a current one at the time, with the press and manipulating the media. Like Tomorrow Never Dies is a very underrated Bond film.
See that one. Shakita K. GoldenEye, Golden Guns with headshots only. Good times. So yeah, the headshots only. I remember that.
Harloff was a slapper. He
never was. That was perm.
Remember you do the big heads?
Yeah, I remember that one. Yeah. Stern 12, aka Chris. My mom managed a drive in the 60s. Goldfinger and Thunderball were literally my first movies I saw.
Holy crap, that's awesome.
That's pretty cool.
Your mom managed to drive through and you got to see those two films and
pretty
drive
awesome.
Through?
Mike Joyce, what did Mike think of Brave New World? Did you see it?
I did.
Yeah, I think it stinks.
Oh my gosh, that face was crazy.
I think it was the farts.
I didn't know what I was watching, man.
Really?
Did you see it, Steph?
Yes.
Why? In what world was the president of the United States doing on a battleship in the middle of an active war zone? Like stuff like that to me, from a script point, you're like fundamentally is wrong. And I get it, but like Esposito was like, I am going to be one of the baddest mothers the MCU has ever seen. You have not seen bad like me. I was like, you're a guy throwing knives and firing a gun. It was
he failed every time he was on screen.
Like, what were you, this big badass in the MCU? And then the leader, it's just like, it just like, I will say this, Sam Wilson and Anthony Mackie were phenomenal. Like,
can I interrupt you for a second?
Please.
It's got a great text from former Inner Geekdom player.
Oh, fuck. Here we go.
Saul.
Oh, Saul. Okay.
Saul says, I've always loved Mike. Love Mike. But the fact that he doesn't know that James Bond is Scottish reaffirms my idea that I would have crushed him in a Bond MTS match.
I never claimed to be a fan of the books. Never claimed to be a fan of the books.
Well, look, we'll talk about Brave New World another time.
And you think you'll crush me in Bond?
So he says,
try it? You want to try it? You want to press your luck, pal?
You want to do that? You want to do a match against Saul exclusively for members?
You want to test? You want to
go? Do that? You want to do that path? I'll get PLD on it. I'll get him on it.
How much time do I have?
Mearsum, do you guys watch the White Lotus on HBO Max? My wife pissed me off the other day, Steph. I'll tell you this. I started trying to watch that show with her, like, I don't know, a year and a half ago, whatever. We started watching, like, she does the thing she always does. I don't know what. So yesterday, she goes, I started watching White Lotus. I'm like, why would you do that? Why would you? She's like, because you want to watch it. I'm like, you bailed on it. She's like, yeah, but I was bored and then like everyone was talking about how good it is, so I wanted to give it a shot. I'm like, what are you doing? She's like, I can't wait for you for everything. I'm like, Can I say that to
So
you?
does she like it now?
She didn't start watching.
It is when you're in what I deem a healthy relationship and you watch things together and someone watches something that you would have liked to watch together, treason.
I know, it's true. Luke S., you didn't do anything, Mike. Kristian added the FU. Although you're wrong about Dune Part 2. It's a masterpiece, so eat shit.
So eat shit.
Eat shit. Oh boy. I gotta eat shit.
Grim Bear 13. A 00 anthology series would be sick. Different 00s for different episodes, because then you never know if or when the main character could bite it. I mean, it could. Listen, if it's written well, it could be very interesting.
Yeah.
Could be.
Man, I'm really thinking about James Bond's nationality now, because he was an orphan. So I'm like,
I feel you in the sense that from a non-viewer, I feel like the general vibe is that's an Englishman.
He was British. Oh, he has Scottish ancestry.
Yeah, maybe so. Go, pal.
We all.
Cage was an Ace Cobra pilot trying to go to Apaches, but Apaches use a monocle over the right eye, and Nick was left eye dominant, so he had trouble. I'm not messing with Go, pal. He knows his shit.
Okay. Yeah, he does.
Luke S., you didn't do anything, Mike. Kristian, you did that already. How do we get back to that? Okay, next one. Dixon Cider, what's your favorite movie of 20?
Oh,
mine's Presence. Mine was of 25.
This year?
2025, yeah.
That we've seen so far? The hell have I seen? I don't really
see this year.
What did I see in the beginning of 2025 that I liked? There's something I saw in the theater recently. What the hell was it? What did I see before Captain America? Shit, there's something I saw. I can't remember what it was. I haven't seen a lot of stuff lately. What the hell would I see?
Yeah, I'm having a brain fart.
Yeah, I don't know. I got to look at the. I got to see what reviews. What have I seen this so far? There hasn't been a lot that has come out. I'm trying to think if there's. What did I see? Oh, the Wolfman. No, thank you. Yeah, nothing is the answer. Nothing. So, yeah, I don't think anybody has seen anything yet. Tetrona 9101. Mike, what's your favorite James Bond actor, excluding
Dalton? Timothy Dalton.
Timothy Dalton.
Yep.
Okay,
hands down.
That's Mike. It's
God, dude, if you could have gotten an interview, or in the future,
I know. I will. I absolutely would. He said the books, Mike. He was raised in Skyfall Manor. Skyfall is very clearly in North Scotland. They show the map in the movie like 5 times.
Now hold on a second. I am reading.
He said his dad is a Scot. His dad's a Scot. His mom is from Switzerland, ethnically French. You are a dumb person, and no one likes you.
You added that, motherfucker.
Yeah, I added that. But
here it is. His ancestry was originally not mentioned, but assumed to be English, since Bond is an English surname, which is uncommon in Scotland, and Fleming wanted him a dual Anglo-Saxon name for the character. Connery then became Bond. Ian Fleming added a Scottish-French.
Bored with this. All right. So the next is now Bond is owned by a real-life Bond villain. Yeah. So there you go. We did that one. How did that come in there too? Current Emperor. Time to buy physical media. F the editors for profit. Andrew Cravilla, who what's your favorite comic book movie score? My favorite is Danny Elfman's for Toby's Spider-Man. It's a good one. It's a good theme. The whole score, I don't know, but I like the theme.
My favorite comic book score?
Probably the Dark Knight's pretty damn good.
I mean, the Elfman.
Oh, I know mine.
Batman.
I know mine. X-Men First Class.
Oh, that's a good one.
A great score.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's Henry Jackman, I think.
Yes, it is. You got one, Steph?
Probably Dark Knight or
Hans Zimmer.
Black Panther.
It's a good one too. Simon Section. Mike, what do you think? Wait, do you think at the end of Deep Rising, the survivors landed on another franchise? Now what?
Yeah, that was Monster Island.
Okay.
We talked about Skull Island, and there's the talk of like that Monster Island where all the monsters are. Yeah, dude, great ending. Great ending. Tree Williams is the fucking best in that movie. Rest in peace.
Galaxy Geeks. Shouldn't DC be casting the voice actor from Creature Commandos for Sergeant Rock? If they don't, does that make Gunn a liar? I mean, he did say that everybody who does the voices.
That's the thing. Yeah. He's been saying that where like you are playing the voice, the actor, and there's a couple times where that hasn't happened, and I'm like, come on, man, you're laying a mandate, stick to it.
they've learned nothing. You can't give definitive answers. You just can't.
Yeah.
You can't do that. Gopal Hurley had a part on the Young Indie show that stuck in my head as an unknown for 20 years before I bought the box set to find that it was an actress I knew. That's crazy. I didn't know she was.
You know who was like that too?
Oh,
Catherine Zeta-Jones. She was on that show. I think she played Mata Hari.
Oh wow, really?
Yeah.
Yeah. We're approaching the end here, I think, as we're going down the line here, and then we have Dancing Dog 60. Bond villain should be a foreign techie who infiltrates a government, wiped out his economy, and wants to put a chip in people's brain. Unrealistic. Okay.
That's Bond. Unrealistic. It happens.
Corn Emperor, I love Preacher season 1. Haven't been able to finish 2. I have to get back into 2 myself. Support. Thank you, DJ. DJ coming in here. Hot. Cooley. Hi, I've returned. What's up, Cooley? What up, fam? Love Cap, and I can't wait to see Superman. Y'all make my day. And Kristian, my family, I watched the Endgame reaction. We wanted to give Sam a hug. Good stuff. Love you. She was, she broke. You got to watch that stuff. Like she mourns. She mourns. It was tough. We put the full reaction up for people to see also if they wanted to see everything in there too. Full 3 hours. But thank Cooley. It's great. I'm glad that you guys liked it, and I love hearing that about your family. I'm glad you're back, man. Shtaya K. Nolan doing classical materials is fascinating. Famously leans heavy on practical FX realism with little CGI as possible. How do you think he'll do it with Odyssey? The best way possible. That's really all you can say. The guy is just he is a genius, and his movies are events, so he'll find a way to make it look about as real as it can get. That's why, and just by using film in general,
Yeah.
All right. Dancing Dog 60. Bond back. Okay, then bring back Derek Flint and Matt Helm, James Corbin and Dean Martin spies. Why not? More spies. I say
not Matt Helm.
Yeah, no. It is going to be so interesting. We'll cover this to the extent that every time there's a big story for sure. Corn Emperor. This is the highest grossing week. For what? I don't know. Anthony M72. Nice balls, Kristian. That's big balls. Corn Emperor support. Thank you, Corn Emperor. Jim 1 underrated Bond movie for me, for your eyes only. Mike, you got one?
Ooh, that is such a good movie. I don't think it's underrated because it's one of my favorites.
Mm-hmm.
Underrated is definitely Living Daylights. Definitely Living Daylights. That's underrated.
Okay. Let's see. I don't know why I just. Oh no! All these I missed one. Sorry.
Oh, you're missing a bunch of questions. You're
no, not missing one.
Fucking us over, Harloff. Fucking us over.
God. You guys appreciate. Hold on a second. Wow. What the hell? No, there's a lot of ones that came in. It jumped down the line, but I'll read this one. Old Man Mike. Let me tell you something, buddy boy.
Jesus Christ.
May not hit 290, but I got a great book called Bond. James Bond exploring the shaken and stirred. Out now.
I'll have to look into that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, guys. There's a ton that came in here, and wow, there's a ton that came in. So and you guys are getting pretty. Holy crap! It jumped me down the line here. So I'm trying to. See, you guys have really been supportive. You guys are in good shape. I'll tell you that right now. There's a possibility here. Okay, underrated Bond movie was the last one that we did. Now jumping into this one, Top Dog Rig. Hey, yo, beautiful people, and Mike. Life hasn't allowed me to watch the stream lately, but glad I could join you today. Me too. Have you seen The Order 2024? What a big surprise with amazing performances. I liked it. I didn't love it as much as everybody did, but it was really entertaining and it was different. Did you guys see that one?
Yeah. It's good.
I liked it.
It was good.
Yeah, I liked it a lot, and I thought there were some really good performances in it. And I liked it. Edge rated. Mike, my brother's a graphic artist and designed it. Still charge me though, that punk. Question: Odyssey has me pumped. Cast is stacked. Who will play who? Thoughts? Oh man, as far as who's going to play who, I have no idea. But I don't have any clue who's going to play who. But I'm
David is Odysseus, right?
Yeah, that we know. But so I like what Steph said before when she was talking about Conclave. I just want to go into it. I don't even want to watch. I'm going to watch a trailer, but I almost don't want to watch a trailer.
Right?
Because I want to see it. I don't want anything to be spoiled for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ziki, New Mongolo. Hey guys, I've been listening since AMC Movie Talk. Do you think Marvel will ever make Elseworlds tales like DC? I don't think that they can. I think they're too locked.
They have the history to do it.
Yeah.
They've never really had an Elseworlds.
I think their what if is their Elseworlds, right?
Yeah, the Ultimate Universe is kind of their what ifs, or they're all Elseworld. Yeah.
Jim 1. Fleming later made Bond Part 2 Scottish due to
There
cut.
it is. That's what I just said. Yeah. He was
Okay.
originally English. There you
All
go.
right. All
Stall.
Zeki. Will Ken ever be on the show? Would love to hear his thoughts on current Star Wars. Well, he won't talk about Star Wars on this because he doesn't like to talk bad about Star Wars. So he wouldn't be on to talk about Star Wars. But we'll probably get him on to talk about something else. I am Jax 12. Fuzzy Door and USI option dungeon crawler Carl. What's that? I don't know what that is. You guys know what that is?
No.
No.
All right. Corn Emperor closer to Rocha and Roxy. Let's see right now. 253, guys. 253. That's 40 away. 40 away. That's pretty nuts.
That is pretty nuts. I can't believe that.
Josh Vaskovitz, do you appreciate the humor of Austin Powers? Yes. Do you think they were a detriment to the Bond franchise? No.
Oh my gosh, those are my favorite comedy movies of all time.
Yeah, no. I could see you loving those movies.
Just upset. That and SNL was my whole childhood.
It'll be great for you to watch Bond because Shannon knew the Austin Powers movie. So we're watching these Bond films. She's like, wait a minute. Is this what Austin Powers made fun of? Like she didn't know what the original,
that's funny.
Like the volcanic layers and all of that. And the bald guy with the cat.
Yeah.
So she's watching like, the original films with these actors. And she's like, what the fuck is going on here? It's like, yeah, this is where it came from.
All right. Sahita K. Mike, how does Shannon do with all your terrible jokes?
She loves them. And she loves me more when I do them. It's a turn on for her.
Nathan Drake, what did Steph think of Danny Ramirez in Brave New World?
I liked him. I like Danny Ramirez. I think there needed to be a love interest in the movie and more abs.
Edge rated. Just reviewed The Gorge myself. Thoughts mid for me. I gotta watch. I gotta finish.
I heard it's mid. It seemed like such a good trailer, but
I started it. Yeah, I started it. Zika, will you show Sam Daredevil series? I don't think we have enough time, and I'm gonna do the Daredevil ones by myself. But I don't think we have enough time to watch Daredevil with her. Top Dog Rig. The MCU watch along with Sam has been so damn good. Thank you. I'm already said you guys are nearing the end. Well, I'm not really. We still have a shit ton left. Do you have plans for what you'll watch next? Sam is just the stinking cutest and best. So we have a ton of movies. Ton. Talking about, she missed most Nolan movies. She hasn't seen most Nolan movies. She hasn't seen any of the X-Men movies. So she's gonna be busy for the rest of the year. DJ Case, did you guys see the interview of Josh Harwitz with Keanu Reeves and Francis Lawrence on the 20th anniversary of Constantine and how they made that film to be PG-13? Imagine a sequel when they lead into R rating. Yeah, he told me that he was having both of them on, and I saw. But makes sense that they would go PG-13 for back then. But I'd love to see them do rated R, especially now with the fact that it's proven you can do rated R superhero movies and make cash. Cupcake Bliss. People are saying that the people of my age prefer Reacher over Bond, but that's comparing apples to oranges. Thoughts, Mike?
It is. They're completely different. Even type, completely different.
Cooley High. Mike, keep speaking your truth on Twitter and I love it. I'm never calling it X. Steph, keep being great. Kristian, thanks forever providing laughs. Thank you. I love that. I love the support. Canelia, love the show and chemistry with this group. Keep it up. By the way, quick trivia for you. Who performed the theme song for The Living Daylights? Great song. Go ahead, Mike. There you go. Dancing Dog 60. Support for Mike. Never say never again. Bad score.
Thanks.
Okay.
Thanks.
Derek, F it. I'll help push you over. There you go. You're getting close. Steph, do you have a channel? If not, start one. Steph?
Yes, I'm thinking of doing just that. So I'll be updating with news later. I'm figuring stuff out.
Nothing to announce.
I want to make more stuff. I am making more stuff. So
nothing to announce just yet.
Yeah.
Cooley High. No one but does it better than the Hut Pizza Hut. Oh my gosh. Stop that. Dancing Dog 60. Worst spoof movie, epic movie. Yeah, or Dracula Dead and Loving It. Yeah.
Worst spoof movie, epic. I don't know.
It's a bad one. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. And then Mearsham, support for all you lovelies. Thank you, Mearsham. Derek Johnson. I like Danny Ramirez too. He was like the little brother. And I guess the writing for him was just too bad. Gurish Pal, let's crack 300. Mike and Steph taking down Roxy and Rocha.
Rock and Roxy?
294 will be legendary. Big love, guys. Can you do it? Can you do it?
That'd be crazy, guys.
That'd be crazy. Don H, support for the win. Dancing Dog 60, best spoof movie, Airplane or Naked Gun?
Airplane.
Naked Gun's great.
Naked Gun's great, but Airplane spoofs a very specific type of movie.
Yeah, Airplane it's just hilarious. Sahita K, I'm with Mike on Dune. It's boring with no pathos. You stop that.
You're a good man.
Derek Johnson throwing support. They're really trying to push over, keeping you in a little extra here today to get the win. Top Dog Rig, I have a major fear that Avengers Doomsday will be a haphazardly thrown together memberberry pie. Very possible. Not enough groundwork has been laid to have people invested like they were for Infinity War. Thoughts?
You're not wrong.
Not wrong.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Yeah.
It'll have to do something different.
Yes, for sure. But you're not wrong with having that fear. Mike Joyce, I'm sure Mike has good advice for Steph on how to be stern and get your way with people on the phone. Mike seems like the guy people don't want to mess with.
Oh yeah, I had insurance hell yesterday.
Oh, did you really? Oh.
No, I my parents are in the law, so when I want to get my way, I usually do. They just insurance is that's my Joker Batman. They are my arch nemesis.
Yeah, that's bad. Dancing Dog 60. Fact: boobs should be shown in old PG rated movies. Yeah, I'm not gonna argue.
I don't care.
I don't think anyone's gonna argue.
Whatever the director thinks.
Hasbro 24. My comment about my wife not crying during our wedding, but cried during Endgame is getting roasted. Oh, I love y'all keeping it up.
That's hysterical.
Is that true? You put that in there? It's hilarious.
That's so funny.
It's awesome.
That's hilarious.
You never know how it's gonna hit.
You really don't. Dancing Dogs, did they win yet? No, they did not yet. Right now they're at 281.
Come on, guys.
Oh my gosh, 20 more.
281. No, 90. Oh, you're 12 left. Steph, 12.
Come on, we can do it.
Is Live and Let Die the worst? Is Live and Let Die the worst Bond movie?
Close. It's close.
DJK support. Edge rated. Let's get the 300. Go, Steph and Mike. Rory, will we get a Bond series on Amazon? Yes, we will.
Yeah.
Support from Derek. Don H. Let's get the 300. Well, currently, we just got one more. Joey Pedros, what's a movie franchise that you think should have been a bigger deal that fizzled out?
Ooh.
Dread.
Oh, that movie. So good.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't have one that fizzled out.
One's
American Assassin.
Oh, okay.
The book series.
Yeah. Top Dog Rig. We can do it.
Come on, you can do it.
Derek Johnson, never say you don't have fans here, Mike. Here's to Steph and Mike making it.
Derek, you're proving me wrong, man. You're proving
me wrong. Thank you. I got faith.
Dancing Dog 60, Man with Golden Gun was the worst.
And his third nipple. Bad guy Scaremonger's got 3 nipples, baby.
Stuart Blackie, let's effing go. Cheers to you guys. Thank you, Stuart. Ryan Geeson, any actors or actresses you'd like to see in the MCU? Julia Roberts.
Oh.
Huh.
Oh.
Robert Redford, wasn't it?
Yeah, I know. I don't know.
Anya Taylor-Joy is joining, right?
Is she?
I don't know. Maybe I made that up. That's who I thought would be a really cool X-Men character.
Okay.
Yeah.
Support there.
That's true.
Top Dog Rig. Bottom of the 9th now, folks. Let's get it home.
Yeah. Let's do it.
Zeke, here again for support. Hashtag beat Rocha. P.S. I love how you pronounce my name. I love your channel so much. I listen to hours worth of compilations of your videos for sleep. Hey, I love that also. Thank you so much. Amazing. Canelio, Mike, you got a location in mind for a new Bond?
No, man, because they're global.
Oh,
don't.
Yeah. Okay.
Global, baby.
Don H, we got this. Come on. Support from Derek Johnson. Dancing Dogs, The Dark Universe was a dud. Jenny Lynn.
Oh, good one.
No, The Dark
That
Universe.
could have been a good one.
Yeah.
The Dark
Mirrors
Universe.
Support. I am Jax. How about films that never were? Halo by Peter Jackson. That's a great one.
Okay.
That's a great one. I would have loved that one for sure.
Yeah,
that would have been a great one. Brandon Summers, scale 1 to 10. How confident are you that Star Wars will ever reclaim its universal appeal? 5.
Yeah, the world might have just moved on from it. It'll always be there, but
Tom Lee McLeod. Mike was the best on Showdown. Not Showdown.
Showdown. And
Shogun.
Shogun.
Support.
Hold
on. Support. Cooley High. Let's win this thing, fam. Joey Pedros, a bizarre movie that you loved. Oh, it's a movie with Jennifer Lopez and Vince Vaughn. Cell, yeah.
Poor Things.
Oh, that's a
poor thing.
That's bizarre.
It is bizarre. I'm with you on that. Oh, substance off. Okay. Support Top Dog Rig. Did you guys see the trailer for Bring Her Back? No, but I hear good things.
No, but I saw a Accountant 2 trailer that looks lit.
Some more support. Roman Fedorak. Hey, all. Hope you're well. Thank you, Roman. Derek Johnson. We had 300 yet. I'm about to give you that number once in a second. Mike Joyce. As long as you've gone without a haircut. 2003. I had almost like a full thing down here.
Oh my gosh.
It was like 5 months during the
2
pandemic.
years.
Okay. DJ Case. 10 memberships. Derek Johnson. Support. Top Dog Rig. Most underrated actor in the history of everything. Mike Kalinowski.
Fucking asshole.
Roxy Striar.
Yeah. Dancing Dog 60. Worst Star Wars pilot. Porkins. Oh, you already put that. Porkins. Yeah, he's the worst. Porkins. The new support from New Zealand. Josh Vaskovich. Any of Rip one during the stream?
Fart, dude. I can see you doing that, Harloff. You're like, think it's
Ripping
quiet. You're like,
yeah, why not? Derek Johnson, support. We better be past 300. And we can tell you in a second. Tommy McLeod, James and the Giant Peach still slaps. I haven't seen that one.
It does.
Top Dog Rig. What's a movie opinion you're scared to share? I didn't love Barbie. That was fine. Derek Johnson, support. And you guys thought my brother Rocha is about to be pissed off.
Oh my gosh, guys, you guys are crazy.
I'm getting the sweats here.
Sean McCabe, where would Pete Parker get a slice? Lucia and Bayside. I got to go there. I haven't been there. You know that?
Pepperonis.
I go to VIP, Sean. Carlos in Middle Bay, New Park, and Howard Beach. I'm going to go to all of those. Who's calling me? Who's calling me right now?
Don't stop the stream.
I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not. My wife is calling.
I know. I love how
here to see Rocha lose. Poor Brandon. I'm a poor Rocha. Cool. Top Dog Rig. Suck it, Rocha. Joey Pedros. Best random cameo in a movie.
Tom Cruise and Austin Powers.
Brad Pitt in Deadpool.
Get the fuck out of here.
So
Tom Cruise. In Tropic Thunder.
Oh yeah.
Well,
he's not a cameo. That's not a cameo though.
That's not a cameo. That's a role.
That's not a cameo.
Yeah.
Austin Powers.
3 scenes.
Austin Powers pretty good.
Austin Powers pretty damn good.
Yeah, that is
Danny DeVito. Hey asshole! It's my favorite.
Hey asshole! It's me, me.
Derek Johnson. Okay, I'm done now. Mike needed the win. It's always a pleasure helping. Steph. You. Tommy McLeod just watched Flubber and still holds up. Flubber.
Okay.
Edge rated. Steph and Mike hitting a new record. Let's go. DJ Case. Let's go. Steph and Mike.
Oh my gosh, you guys are crazy.
Zeke. Hashtag dicks out for Porkins. Listening live at 7:24 in Australia.
Well, good day, mate.
Tommy McLeod. You'll like The Borrowers. Hilarious. Just rewatch it. I don't think I've ever seen that one.
I like The Lenders better.
Yeah. And then this one for $2, give your hot take on the Blake Lively situation.
Oh my god.
The whole show. I think there's a lot more to it, and I think
we don't know shit.
We don't know shit, and I think that the Saturday Night Live thing was a mistake.
Yes.
Oh, it looked bad. That was a bad
thing. Big mistake. Brandon Summers, we need a 6-hour director's cut of 1 and 2 of Dune. Mm-hmm. I'm with you. So eat it, Mike. Stuart Blackie, best Daniel Craig role besides Bond. Knives Out, Layer Cake.
Knives Out.
Layer Cake.
Knives Out.
Yeah, let's see. Yeah, baby. Yeah, Joey Pedros. All right. The number totally.
Do we stop?
Total, right? Total, right? Well, unless it still comes in when I give the total. All right.
We have to go. I
know. You gotta
take a piss.
All right.
I've been holding my bladder for 2.5 hours.
All right, here it is. So here's the number. We got no more questions. We're done. Steph's got to go.
I gotta get
the number right now is 352.
Oh my god, guys. Are you insane?
352.
That's crazy.
352 is the number.
Shut it down.
You're crazy.
You
guys are
do
crazy.
anything again.
353 is the number.
Oh my gosh, guys.
So that's it. So we got to shut it down. That's got to go. But
everyone's going to have a really good day today.
Don't anybody write to Rocha and Roxy.
No.
I usually tell everybody on Fridays. So we're going to tell them on Friday.
Yeah.
All right, so there you go. There's another one. Suck it.
Oh my goodness,
Tommy.
All
right, so there we go. All right, thank you guys for being here and shattering the record here, destroying the record. Now, can Winston and Coy do more tomorrow? I doubt it, but let's see. Thank you for being here, Mike, Steph. Thanks for hanging out as long as you did. It looked like it was worth it for you. So we'll see you guys on the flip side. Thank you to everybody. Holy mackerel, what a day. Thank you.
Yeah.
We'll see you on the flip side, Mike, Steph. Mike, look at Mike. He's finally happy. All right.
Oh, hi.
Bye, everybody.